Okay, so this is episode 82 of Vampire the Masquerade.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. And
Bad.
you're bad. You just got shot, buddy. You're lying on the ground bleeding to death right now. Zara? Is that right? Did I say it right? You're running up to him to feed him blood.
Oh, no, I'm actually drinking from him currently.
Oh, you're drinking from him currently. Okay. Yeah. Meanwhile, the other guy, Arthur. What are you doing, Arthur? Do you remember?
Yeah, so we had just finished with the helicopter as it was now in a downward rotation.
It's exploded.
Sadly.
All the blades have come flying off it.
Yep. The vehicle's gone over, and Peter was trying desperately to try to figure out how to get something into that plane before it goes down.
Right.
We applaud him. It was his football technique there. It was fantastic. But in the last moment, Mr. Lawrence Brookburn, mortal scum, he got shot through the gut. I got a wing shot off my right arm by the old tracer rounds, and the phosphor just burning a hole through me. Unfortunately, he lost his intestines, his lower intestines. And that was really unfortunate. Zara ran over, tried to feed him some blood. That was just a lost cause. He was expelling more fluids, guts, and blood and viscera than could be repaired.
Right.
And so it was at that moment that we kind of scrambled and tried to drag him off onto the side into the brush and forested areas so that Zara could then make another child.
Right. Okay, well, Zara, what are you doing right now? You're standing over Lawrence's body, right?
I'm drinking from his wrist.
Drinking from his wrist. Okay, well, I'll get everyone to make a perception check, please. Perception alertness. Peter,
It's so rainy here. I love it.
It's raining here, too. Is it raining where you are?
Yeah.
Oh, wow, nice. Yeah, we're getting the same sound effects everywhere nicely. Except for those two that are over there in the northern hemisphere. I don't know what the weather's like where you guys are. How's those perception checks going, ladies and gentlemen?
Whoop.
Whoop.
1. Yes.
Okay. Peter Wicks, I'm rolling for you. Somewhere. Somehow.
I haven't rolled 20 loaded yet.
Peter Wicks, perception alertness. Now, Barry, you might have some clue as to why you're rolling perception alertness.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
3 successes.
3 successes. Goodness me. Okay, and Peter gets 3 successes too. So what about the rest of you guys? What do we get?
1.
1 from you.
Yep.
Jesse was 3, and Lawrence, well, you're at severe disadvantage. I don't think you notice shit. You're busy coughing.
I didn't even roll.
Right, exactly. You're busy asphyxiating and blood loss and coughing up shit and shock and trauma and just all the shit going on. So your dice pool would be negative something right now, so you really can't do anything. The others, however, you hear somebody step out of the darkness onto the road nearby, just behind where you are, Zara. Maybe how far back? Maybe 10 feet back? 15 feet back? Barry, I'll let you take over.
All right. You hear a voice saying, "Child, your blood is not sufficient for his life. Mine, however, is more than efficient. I am blessed." And he disappears.
And when he disappears with Lawrence.
So I was like, my meal. No.
Then in all your heads, out of instinct you hear, "Follow me, children. You will know where I am."
And you get
Follow
this
me.
sense of his location in the space around you. Anybody that looked at the figure, by the way, did anybody turn and see who spoke?
I probably would have.
Okay. Jesse.
Ultra paranoid Arthur Crane would have with a perception of 3. Absolutely.
So the individual that broke out of the shadows before this conversation ensued, he's this kind of heavy-set individual with Hessian sackcloth robes over him. Any other particular? He has a cross hanging around his neck, like a old-looking silver cross.
And that, at the moment, is all you got to see.
Right. That's all you saw for a brief moment before. Right. So now yeah.
I don't recognize him at all from any previous meetings that I've had.
You've never seen this individual in your life.
Stay close, all of you.
So you can hear his voice, certainly. Sorry, I'm interrupting you.
Let the blessings be with you all. Do not go too far, or you shall die.
I start signing to Peter. Sabat?
Don't ask me, I'm just following.
Why? Oh.
To be fair, that's a great question. Why would you follow a stranger who's just kidnapped your friend? I said, well, friend, yeah. Meal.
Like all sorts of like fairy tales just started running through Arthur's brain. I'm just like, this is not the way a good story ends or begins.
Is that what he thinks?
That's what he says.
No, it is not. But to survive, you must follow me.
Peter.
Once again, why?
Welcome, Avery, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave this in your capable hands here. Yeah, I mean, I'm out of my element.
I will take you to safety.
And what of Lawrence Jr.?
Are you trying to speak?
No, I'm asking out of character about Marco.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. Yeah, right. Where is Marco now, anyway?
He was with us.
He's with you, okay.
He was with us. We had Zara was trying to get out of the way of the tracer rounds,
right.
And Lawrence was hit, but she was able to take the hit for.
Didn't your vehicle got completely it fell off the cliff, didn't it? Is that what happened?
We pushed it
off the cliff, right? I'm trying to think where Marco is currently taking cover and bawling his eyes out and just trying in a fetal position.
If you remember, at the end of last session, I was like, we just pushed the truck over the edge. Where's Marco?
Oh.
It's nonsense.
No, we made sure he got out.
Yeah, Lawrence went with.
Did you?
I mean, if you really wanted to work the World of Darkness, that was pretty fucking dark right there. I tell you what.
That was dark.
Oh yeah.
But
We'll get dark enough.
the thing is, it won't.
We
Not as dark.
Kidnapped him.
Not as dark as when you fall in love with Marco and then he dies.
Oh yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
we're gonna drag it out a little.
He's almost the cusp of being the age to change him myself.
Right.
And then he dies.
Yeah.
Exactly. Okay, well, enough about Marco, except to say that he is here, he is alive, and he's sitting back at the other side of the road near the jungle, up against the cliff wall, below the jungle.
I'm going to go over to him. Pat him on the head, and then I point the way.
I'll see if he has the willpower to even stand up. He does. He rises.
Good.
He begins to follow you. He seems to have twisted his ankle somewhere along the lines.
All right. Let me shoot my blood count. Okay, we're good.
He looks at you like, what?
Okay. I will put my hand over his eyes, and then put my
Yeah,
hand.
you go to put your hands over his eyes, and he's like, nah. Oh, well, he's got one hand, so he's not going to...
Okay, well, in that case, I'm just gonna pick him up.
Okay, you pick him up, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll allow it. All right.
I'm carrying him pretty, like...
You're just going to carry him, all right? And he's kicking and
It's
screaming.
like this. It's not like, like this.
Yeah, it's a fireman's lift kind of thing,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
over one shoulder, right? And he's kicking his legs, and his arm and stub are going. I'm making fun of amputees now. That's really not cool.
That's cool.
My apologies. That was bad. So yeah, and he's carrying on as you're dragging him away. Can you make another perception check, everybody, please?
They'll notice they're getting close to a river.
Nope,
I'll hear it.
I don't. I'm too busy dealing with this.
Hold
little
on, Barry.
shit.
Remember the plan.
I am.
Remember the plan.
I'll take them
there were several
via
plans.
the river. You got to go by the river to get to the waterfall.
Right, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mattius, which is his name, but you don't know that yet, leads you down this walk path that really you're kind of surprised is there. Like it kind of just blended in with the wall of the cliff. But it's there and it's extraordinarily precarious. So I will get some dexterity and athletics checks to make sure that nobody falls to their doom. And I'm more than prepared to hear any theories about how you're going to go down holding hands, skipping Mary Sue, or any other plans you might have to obtain success in this action as a team.
Oh, as a team.
Or not as a team.
I think we're all out for ourselves, really.
Right.
Yeah, I am going to like before we do this, I'm going to put the little kid down, Marco, and just be like, like you, and that cliff, and then I'll like pick him up, and hopefully that scared him into submission.
He tugs your hair quite hard once, and he speaks to you in Spanish and in native Paraguay languages. It starts with G. I know it. It's here somewhere. It's in my notes. Anyway, come back to that. He's speaking to you, and you get the impression he's trying to get you to put him down.
I put him down.
Okay, he doesn't do anything rash, but he moves forward along the cliff and down the stairs.
Okay, good.
He's at the
I
front.
got 3 successes as well. So.
Okay, cool. So you managed to get all the way down with your 3 successes right after him together. Who's next?
I'm gonna go last. I'm just gonna look down and it's like it. I'm either gonna be following a psychopath down or Mata. This is great.
Well, the more people that are in front of you, there's more people to catch you. There's that.
That's exactly what I was thinking, but it's just like
Right.
it's either going to be a sociopath or a martyr.
Right. Fair enough. Lawrence, where are you going in this team? In this?
I'm being carried.
Right. That's true.
More
You
ways
are
than
being
one.
carried. Yeah.
And he's
I'm over here sipping ginger beer riding the bus.
he's been healed so that other things can happen.
Okay, so Lawrence, you've already begun healing now. It's
okay, so I actually have to.
It sounds to me like Mattius has given you some blood that is... you thought the last lot was pretty potent. This blood is more potent yet. And it is healing wounds rapidly. Like, you've still got a lot of ribs and other organs that need to be repaired fucking quickly, but the organs are coming together now. The ribs will begin to close in and extend back into their locations over the next few minutes as you're getting
Would
carried.
you say as of right now I'd be considered mauled?
Okay.
And what am I rolling?
You're not rolling anything. You don't have to roll
being
anything.
carried.
You're being carried right now. Yeah. Okay. So the rest of you, what did we get, Jesse, for our Dex athletics check?
Dex and athletics.
Yeah.
Selecting the boxes, hitting the button.
Ba-dunk.
Oh my god!
What did you roll? -3 successes, Jesse.
You just jump right up.
Okay.
It's like, it's like, yeet.
So you're at the back. Okay.
Oh, that means he's coming down with everyone in front of him.
Yeah. So at that point, who's he next coming up on would be Zara, right?
Oh wait, where's Peter?
Oh no, Peter.
No, I'm coming last. I'm coming dead last.
Yeah.
Right. It's okay. I haven't done Peter's check. That's what's missing. That's what's missing. Okay, Peter Wicks. Here we go. Dexterity and not firearms, but instead dexterity and athletics. And pachink. Roll the dice. Do the thing. And it says 3 successes. So Peter Wicks is fine. No worries. But Peter is in front of Jesse. So Peter, as you're going down, you get to sort of halfway down the cliff face, following this shadowy figure, and behind Zara and the boy Marco are in front of you, and then you hear somebody slipping behind you, and you look back and you see Arthur falling quite severely. Now you can do nothing, and he will fall past you. Or you can take a risk and try and save him.
I'll take a risk and try and save him.
Would you like to spend any blood points or willpower points on the preceding
Blood points
risk?
and strength.
Blood points and strength. Okay, that is taken into account. What are you going to try and do to save him as he slides past you? Just going to try and reach out and grab him whilst holding on to the rocks that you've got at your location? Okay.
Yeah,
So we'll make it a strength and athletics check, basically, to see if you can grab him and hold on to him. And the dice are rolling. And that is... Ooh, 1 success, but it is a 10. There were 2 10s... Oh wait, it's a 6. There were 2 10s and 2 1s and a 6. I feel that is enough to say that you grab his collar, and he is slipping through his clothes. His shirt is beginning to rip. Arthur, can you make a strength and athletics check?
You're really trying to kill me, aren't you? Athletics, okay. There we go.
Yeah.
2 successes.
2 successes. Okay, so you managed to grab onto his arm at that point, and he's holding you. Peter, we need another check from you. So I'm going to roll on that to now.
Don't let go, Peter. Don't let go. Don't let go, Peter.
I'll give it my best shot.
Okay, so you try to haul him up.
Yeah, I put blood into strength.
4 successes. All right, so you easily lift him up with one arm back up onto the steps.
Could you try to stand in one place just once in your life?
I'm working on it, Peter. I pat him on the shoulders. I pat him on the head. I just start generally patting him.
I'm turning around and signing. Will you guys hurry up?
All right.
But like aggressive sign language.
So I'm going to get one more Dex and Athletics check from Arthur, and Peter now, because you guys have to now get to the bottom, having got this far. Don't fuck it up now. I don't want to go through that again.
Then do it. It'll be funny.
Dexterity and
I'm here for the
athletics.
draw.
Come on, you damn machine.
Hey, nice.
3 successes and 1 10, so spectacularly.
And Peter, 3 successes, 2 8s, a 7, and a 6, and a 1. So 3 successes. Excellent, you make it to the bottom. Very good. So Mattius, you are watching these proceedings, and they finally managed to get down after scrambling almost off the edge at one point. It's like, oh god, I didn't have to go and save him. So you then lead them around the side of a small pathway next to the river that goes to this waterfall, which comes down not quite directly, but from an offlet from the dam above. And as you approach this waterfall, he takes you round behind it, and there is a little cave with a boat in it.
I start saying, who are you?
My name is Mattius, child.
Does he understand sign language?
He does. He deals with disabled people all the time.
Like us.
Mm.
All of us. Yep. Forget you, Arthur. Well, I look surprised.
This way.
Do you lead them onto the boat, or are you taking them somewhere else?
I lead them onto the boat.
Okay. Tell me about this boat.
It's
This might be a actual patrol boat?
Yes, it's been borrowed.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so it's a patrol boat. It looks like the other boats that you guys have been using and been on recently.
And there are some people on it.
Uh-huh.
And they are dressed as soldiers.
So these guys look pretty much like the guys that you were just fighting?
Appearances can be deceiving, young ones. Trust me.
I am going to get a perception and empathy check from each of you.
Ditto.
Yeah.
So it's just perception then?
Yeah. And don't be surprised if I fall asleep in this game. I took some Nurofen. It turned out to be cold and flu.
Oh my god.
You'll be fine.
Dude.
Just make sure you eat some carbs.
Eat more Dr. Pepper.
And eat more Dr. Pepper. That's actually quite good. It actually counteracts acetaminophen than any other.
And this is why Jesse's playing a doctor.
It's just perception.
Yeah.
I'm being carried. I can still look around.
Right.
It's literally just perception.
So, yes.
We're an empathetic lot, that's for damn sure.
So what did you get for your perception anyway? Lawrence, what'd you get?
0.
0. Arthur?
Oh my god.
That's a 0?
0.
Also a 0. Also you.
0.
Okay.
Zeros all across the board.
All right.
We are such a... We're so selfish, so narcissistic.
Yeah.
I can see why the Order of Mars chose you guys. I mean, you guys are going to be the A team in the Order of Mars. I can see that. Right after they sort out those problems you were just discussing.
Is Peter carrying us?
Peter is carrying you with 2 successes.
Nice. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm still wounded.
Yeah, that's true, you are.
Yeah, 2 successes for Peter. Well, Peter doesn't really need these successes. Barry knows stuff.
Alright, we'll head out of there.
Alright, so you get on the boat. And you cruise out back onto the river, and you start heading down the river. as you're going down the river, Peter, what you notice is that as you go past the villages and what have you, they look at they don't really pay any heed to you at all. You just go straight past them. Nobody's paying any attention to you. I mean, other than I suppose the fact that you're carrying guns and stuff on the boat, and they don't want to get shot at. They don't do anything stupid, but they're not like, who the fuck are these people? Anything like that.
Okay.
So in any case, you go back down the river. You guys failed to notice that you're going back down the direction that you came from.
I'm still carrying the kid as well. When I put him down in the boat.
However, the boat takes a slightly different route through some of the delta lands, the sort of flat, broken area where the various streams meet and the rivers, divide and reconnect in different places. And thusly, you end up back on the main river, heading back to San Pedro. And you've been traveling for about 30 miles, 40 miles. All of the distance that you've covered in the jungle, up and down the hills, on foot, been reversed in about 20 minutes, or maybe an hour. And you get back to San Pedro, and you drive into San Pedro, and the guards open the gates, and you guys cruise out the main gates. And at this point, Lawrence, you are vaguely aware, probably an hour's gone past, you can heal another level of damage.
I'm only wounded, still -2.
At this point, you are aware that you're outside of the triangle on the map, and you're heading for some hills, some other mountains. You're heading through farmlands. You can see large cattle ranches. You see a group of individuals wearing hats on horse-drawn carriages, almost like the Amish, Mennonites, those guys. Communities of them, and you pass through their farmlands and what have you, and you get to the jungle, and you travel up into a jungled forest road that becomes more dense and difficult terrain, so to speak, and eventually you go through this moment where it's exceptionally dark, very, very black, surrounded by trees on all sides, and you can barely even see the sky. And you go through this stone gate, and you may make perception alertness checks. Now, at this point, it's been about 3 hours, so anybody that wants to ask questions or talk to Mattius should do some role-playing on that matter, sitting in the cab of the truck, or the boat, rather.
Holy crap, Arthur.
How did I get onto the road? Right, of course, because you got onto the road because you switched from the boat to a truck at San Pedro, because that's where the river stops. So yeah, sorry, I got ahead of myself going through my list of things.
So basically, we left San Pedro. We went up and up and up and up and up and up.
Yeah.
And then we came all the way back down again, back to San Pedro. We got in a vehicle, and then we're going up, 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 north.
Into a different area, yeah.
Into a completely different area on the opposite side of the river.
And outside outside the triangle. Yeah.
Do we even know that we're outside of the triangle? I mean, I don't have a map anymore. It got burnt to a crisp.
You saw the map at some point, and you would have seen that San Pedro was at the bottom corner of the triangle. So.
Oh yeah, the flare gun.
I would like to ask, Mattius? It's Mattius, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or Mattius, Mattius, however you pronounce it.
I'm going to say, where is Scheherazade? Her name would be spelled. It would be like... It'll take a while for me to spell out her name, so give me a moment.
Just abbreviate it.
Sorry.
I would imagine if she is anywhere in this area.
Well, you need to ask a first question, Mattius, and that is, who the fuck is Scheherazade?
Yeah, let me finish. I'm getting there.
Right.
I can't say who the fuck.
True.
I should imagine if she is anywhere in this area, that Brother Fuego would have her by now. Who is she?
Gonna look around. It's so sad. I don't have my cross anymore. Damn it! No, but yeah, I go to grab my steak.
Okay.
And then when I have a moment, I'm going to bless my blood and use it.
The steak?
Yes.
On this guy?
Yes.
Okay. You can
I
make
don't trust him.
You can make
We've been fighting Priest the entire time.
I asked you. I asked you a question earlier. Was to make an empathy check. Didn't I? What were the results of those empathy checks? 0.
Yeah.
Anybody?
Zeros across the board.
Zero.
Peter was carrying us.
Oh god.
Forgive me.
Oh, that was a
I don't
Peter.
have
That
no
was an
reason to
empathy
trust this
check.
guy.
That's right. Right. Okay. So that was actually empathy, not perception. That reminds me.
Which is why at this moment of time, as we're traveling, I was gonna look at Peter and it's just like, Peter, I don't know those guys from fucking Adam, and do you trust them?
Well, Peter, you got two successes on your empathy check, and you see this glimmer of something about him that is weirdly pure and true and hopeful.
Well, let me put it this way. I think I trust him more than the guys in the helicopter we just left. You know what I mean? So let's
I hear what you. It's not resounding, but I'll take your lead.
I know it's not resounding, but he hasn't killed us yet, and I have this feeling that he could have if he wanted to.
Yeah.
He's pretty trusting, and you know.
Where is Mattius while this conversation is occurring?
He's putting a certain wounded person on a bed.
Okay, so we got that far.
Okay.
All right,
That gives me time.
we're a little bit further. Excuse me, Dr.
Gives you
Pepper.
time to stake him.
A little bit further ahead than I wanted to get. Because
On a boat. I mean, are we still on the boat?
okay,
No,
so
we
that
went from.
okay,
boat.
no, because we were going to go back and just do some role playing over that hour or
Okay.
so that time. So just breaking it up, that's fine. Okay, so that was on the boat that conversation occurred.
Yep.
Okay. All right, so you eventually get to the truck. You travel by truck for like 4 or 5 hours, and it's getting quite late. It's about 3 a.m. at this point. So, you know, sunrise, all of that sort of stuff, vampires. The truck, as I said, goes further up into the darkness, and finally it goes through a gate. And as you go through the gate, you see this stone monastery of the Spanish style from, you know, dating back to the conquistadors, etc. It's kind of a ruin, but it's been upkept somehow over time. People have come back to it and tried to re-establish it by the looks of things. So there are a few individuals around, and you can see there's gardens on one side, and there's you know, a few other places around. Obviously it's dark, so you can't see that well. Yep.
Along the way. Did
Yeah.
I have a time to attack him?
Right.
You
So
had plenty of time.
okay. I think that during the journey, it might have been hard to get a good opportunity, but perhaps at this point,
Leading the way.
hey,
He was leading the way.
he
You
was
were following?
leading the way, and you were following. Yeah. And you were at the back of the pack, weren't you? Too? No, you were at the front, originally. All right. Well, in any case, where do you want this attack to occur?
Somewhere hopefully before we come across people.
Okay.
And
Roundabouts now by the gate at the monastery, or much earlier than that?
we'll go like a little earlier than that.
Okay.
A little earlier.
Like when Arthur was trying to kill us all on the cliffside.
We just get yeeted off. And I want to put some blood into strength.
Uh-huh.
And then I want to spend some blood on celerity to do so.
All right. Don't worry, Barry. I have a plan.
Okay. I am so sorry, but
No, you're not sorry yet.
I failed my empathy, so I don't trust him.
So,
which is absolutely fair, in my opinion.
So 2 things.
Yeah.
1, yes, I failed my empathy check, so I have no idea who this guy is. I don't give a shit about him.
Right.
Which is quite normal. But the second point is that I've already actually had a conversation with Peter, and Peter seems to trust him. So I'm like, okay. So, and I guess the third point. Do I actually see her kind of
pull out the stake and getting ready to do it?
The wind up,
right.
Checking the, sharpness. Looks good.
How far does she go? How far does Zara go? I mean, does she telegraph to the rest of the group what she's going to do at all, or is she unconsciously? Do you want to make a deception check, we have a deception subterfuge, dex and subterfuge.
Okay. Dex and subterfuge, interesting.
I know. I like inventing new roles. It's my favorite thing.
3.
3, okay. So you can make perception and investigation checks to see if you notice.
Son of a bitch. Okay.
What'd you get?
1.
1. Well, that's... And what are we up against? You got 3, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Peter Wicks. 4. Peter, you get 4 successes. You see Zara pull out a stake, and she's behind your current host.
I would have gone pop celerity.
Uh-huh. All right, so you can roll the hit. You can make your dex and blah 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 melee. Dex and melee. Oh, strength and melee. Is that what you said? Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Peter's gonna let her. He wants to see what's gonna happen.
All right.
How about here? So I'm just trying to see how many blood points I would have put there. So it would have been 3. Okay. And then 2. Oh, just 1. For that first one.
1 success?
For the first one.
For the first one, what? First
For
one,
the first
what?
attack.
Oh, okay. So roll again.
I have others.
Well, actually, don't roll again, because what happens is you hit with the stake. I mean, you hit his chest.
Yeah.
It's approximately the right area. And then off the front of the stake, this shower of scintillating golden shards come flying off it, and the stake literally burns up and explodes in your hands and falls to the ground in ashes. And he's standing there in front of you, radiating this almost holy aura.
I'm doing some things. But I'm also mute, so I guess I'm just gritting my teeth.
But you
people can hiss.
Yeah, I was going to say, surely they can.
Absolutely, it's a guttural motion with the tongue. Exactly.
Right. Okay.
You're not engaging your vocal.
Not the vocal.
You're not going
right.
hiss, hiss.
It's not the vocal cords. It's the vocal folds is what you're actually engaging at that point. When you're actually
Jesse,
talking.
you're way too fucking smart for this game.
But we like it. We need that. We need you. Okay. Yeah, I hiss at him.
All right, so you hiss at him. Excellent.
Yeah. And then I
Mattius, what do you do, Mattius? She's hissed at you. She's tried to stake you. You are aware that Ariel has intercepted this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I will also react as well when appropriate.
Mm-hmm. What do you do?
I'm just like, what the hell are you doing?
No matter what I say to you, you won't understand.
Lawrence,
so I'm just gonna stare at Mattius like this.
Lawrence probably thinks he's hallucinating.
You have questions, child?
There you go.
And does he say that directly into her head?
Yes.
I say outside of my head. I don't trust you.
Using your business.
Yeah.
Okay, but he can read your mind anyway, so it
Then I
doesn't
put
matter.
my hands back in place, ready to fight.
So she's ready to fight you. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
What are you laughing at?
Oh, did you miss it? Sitting here in a fight position, stop and do a couple of quick signs and back.
Yeah.
Right. For sure. Okay, so Mattius.
Have you... Why do you not trust me?
I sign. We have no reason to.
I could always take you back to those who were to kill you.
They can try.
Believe me, I know somebody who will succeed.
Out of game, does anyone remember the name of that priest that I devoured the first time we were here? Diego. Is it Diego?
No.
It might have been Duego, but it wasn't Fuego.
I thought Diego.
Yeah, it might have been Diego.
Father.
Barbaros.
Padre.
I thought it was on Mattius or something, but...
This guy's Mattius.
Oh, right.
Well, you know what? Zara doesn't care.
All right.
Zara's going to be like, do you know that father at that location that it just trails off into like nonsense. Then it goes back to Duke's.
Back up to G. Okay.
Yep.
I see the one you were speaking of, and he was not true to it. Well, he was true to his faith and what he believed, and paid his price.
Are you working with him?
Oh my god, the sun is still up over there.
No,
Hardly is. Right.
I am not working with him.
But yes. Oh, I think you owe us something in good faith.
Such as...
At a game, what's a way that a vampire can show such good faith in like the community? Like
he's currently saving my life.
Oh, it could be like drinking another person's blood, or that's like how.
I think, I mean, out of game, Mattius is about to do this exact thing. But he's going to give you a show of faith. But no, I'm saying he's going to show you some faith anyway. Like, give you a show of faith.
Prove it.
Well, he's about to, but you keep fucking trying to kill him.
Well, that's because it's really hard to trust someone.
It's really hard to. It's really hard to gain someone's trust when they keep trying to kill you. But anyway, that's not my problem. I'm just a DM. I don't know.
Would you say the child was a good judge of character? The little one with the one arm.
I
Oh,
say
you
doubt
asking me?
it.
I just met him.
I think he's still talking to Zara in the head, right? So we're all all sitting around trying to figure out what the hell's going on. She's tipping her head, signing in the air, and Mattius is just like
No,
sitting
he's
there.
letting you all hear.
Just gonna roll some dice for a moment here. Let's see.
I am definitely hallucinating.
Ooh, okay.
I've got a glowing man talking to some bloodsuckers
Jesse.
in my head.
Yes.
Marco grabs your hand. You feel him next to you, and he starts speaking in Spanish. He says, basically, he's trying to say, "Is Lawrence okay? Can I talk to him?"
I think so. He doesn't look like he's overly hurt like he was before.
He's well fucked up. Don't get me wrong. He's still well
but he
fucked up.
doesn't have his lower intestines
that's
draping over his shins.
They've all been stuffed back into this.
Exactly. He's not using him like a jump rope at this point in time, so he's looking a little bit better.
Did you ever read the book of the movie The Running Man? Like Stephen King's book. Anyway, there are parallels.
Intestines and jump ropes came into play.
Intestines. Anyway, go on, Charlie.
I'm going to sign as a sign of good faith. Tell us your plan.
Melkev.
I just roll my eyes.
You have a problem with my clan?
Everyone has a problem with your clan.
Sorry.
Everyone.
I just need to be one clarification here. Is this all being spoken, or is Mattius still speaking to Zara in her head?
I'm assuming he's speaking out loud when he's addressing her questions.
I'm talking to her mouth
right.
to mouth, person to person.
Okay.
I put down my dukes. Then I just walk. I walk the way that you're going.
Good.
Okay.
Come.
All right, so let's say that's where you make the exchange onto the truck in the back of a warehouse. Once you've got off the boat, basically, is where that scene would have happened. Then you get on the truck. Then you drive out into the middle of nowhere. Then you get up into the darkness, and then you go through the gate, and then you see the monastery and the forest and the gardens and so forth. And you see a group of hooded figures moving down to a small stone building down on the hill a bit further down that looks like possibly where they may live or stay. And the truck stops up next to an old wheeled cart. There are some horses at a stable not far away, and there's sheep wandering around. Some goats. Mattius, you lead them inside the building?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
And there are people there doing their thing
okay.
and doing the gardens and
Right, bearing in mind that it's like 3 a.m.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind. But yep, okay.
Okay.
And you go inside the building, and it is indeed almost like a medieval monastery, or sort of 17th century, I suppose. Yeah, so there's a bell tower, and all the things that you would expect. So feel free to add on and ask questions and make up stuff.
Yeah, in a minute.
So, did we walk past any of these cloaked individuals, or the people that were farming or gardening? Were they also cloaked and robed as well, or were they just...
Were they?
Some are.
Some aren't. I mean, I think if they're gardening at night time, that's a bit weird, to be honest.
The ones who are working at night are ghouls.
Right, okay.
Ghouls, yeah.
Malkavians.
Did we ever finish off the obfuscated vampire that was hunting us in the woods? Or did we just kind of forget about them and leave a trail?
Well, they were wounded, so they
So they probably bled out.
Treated as
Probably
far
bled
as
out
we
and died.
know.
Right.
And yeah, thanks for reminding the DM that she exists. Thank you.
Okay.
You're very welcome.
I'd just like you to know I watched at least an hour of the last episode.
Does it say, like, Lawrence, you were dead, so you got no voice in this? Shut the fuck up!
Right. Just wakes up for a second. Hey, shadow assassin vampire.
All right.
So, no, the reason I wonder about this is that, I look over at his eye and I was like, you know what? You got a guy right here, he's trying to save our lives. And you have a grievance with him. But then we walk by all these cloaked motherfuckers that are gardening at 3 o'clock in the fucking morning. You have no problem with them?
I have a problem with that. I think it's weird. I don't think there should be people gardening at 3 a.m. I think it's weird. The sun is out in the daytime, and the plants grow from the sun. These are...
Yes, but
well,
you can still move them around.
Zara responds with what people?
Okay, whatever. I don't care how you run your fucking monastery, Barry. You,
All right.
you run your own
All right.
monastery.
It's my monastery, go away.
Yeah.
You're only visitors here, get out!
You're not welcome to praise here.
Yeah. All
I
right.
mean, you can plant briar bulbs. You can plant fucking onions, mandrake.
Nightshade.
Well, in the daytime, you won't see all that because you'll be asleep. But, okay.
All right, so what there is here also, Barry, of course, there are various layers to this place, and there is you I'm assuming, sleep in the crypt in the undercroft.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I have books on all kinds of religions.
Right, so there's a huge library in this place, which he takes you through. And there are rooms, individual rooms for each person?
Yes, for guests.
Okay, so there are guest rooms. Okay, cool. And there's like a communal meeting area as well as, you know, the entrance to the chapel itself and the church and so forth.
And he does say, Ariel, are you sure these are children of the prophecy?
Anyone who wants to make a perception alertness check to overhear him say that may feel free.
I might be too distracted by the books.
I'll laugh if it's Peter
I
Wicks.
was just going to say the exact same thing. Yep.
You guys
Lawrence,
are fucking nerds, man.
Yeah.
Fucking
He
nerds.
does his research.
Perception.
Zara is calling you nerds.
I got
Nerd.
one success, so yeah,
Nerd.
not completely nerded out just yet.
Peter.
If I didn't have it before, I'm pretty sure I just gained my nerd card. -1 success.
Yeah, Peter gets 1 success.
Got one.
Yeah. Right, what are we rolling
I'm all
for?
in them both.
I've already forgotten what we're rolling for. Anyway,
It was a
Oh,
perception
overhearing.
awareness.
it was a
Yeah,
perception.
overhearing.
Overhearing.
Overhearing
That's
people
right.
of prophecy.
Right, overhearing that. So 1
This
success.
one I am carrying, what is his name?
You can read his mind,
Uh,
of course, Mattius. You can.
Also, I'm healed up to wounded. I can talk, potentially walk. I am Lawrence.
I am Lawrence. Hear me talk.
It
Hear
is,
me talk.
it is a pleasure to meet you.
I'm
You as well, Mattius.
Yes.
Thank you for whatever you did back there. I need to change.
You one of the robed figures steps forward and rings a bell, and you see a servant come out. The servant runs across to them, an acolyte. Whisper, 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 and they run off. Just after you said need clothes and things.
Clothes will be provided.
I hope you like robes, though.
They are not,
Quite airy.
they are not how you say modern and up to date.
Burlap. Are they burlap? I'll make do with what's left of my suit.
So, have you made your decision yet?
Decision.
Will you be one of us?
I wasn't aware that was an option.
That is always an option, my son.
And he's going to look over at Zara.
Oh, is Zara there?
Oh, they're not there.
Am I not there? I don't know where I'm at.
I'm assuming Peter's talking to him privately, or not. Is this
No,
private?
Mattius is talking to him privately.
Yeah, that's what I mean to say. Sorry,
Yeah.
not Peter.
Okay. In that case, he's just not look to Zara.
I'll be punching something.
Okay.
Yeah,
There's-
just practicing.
There are some pillars.
Yeah. Yeah.
Square pillars, these
They
ones.
are
So he takes a moment and listens to the methodic beat of the pillar in the distance.
Boof, boof, echoing through the fucking place like it's a castle.
And just being reminded of the strength that comes with it, and what he was just saved from.
Do you realize
Yes, I will accept.
you have a destiny to fulfill?
Destiny.
But you will not fulfill it if you continue the way you are, and I will not be always there to save you.
Then give me the power that I need to fulfill this unknown destiny. Yeah, let's do this.
Just one moment. So last session you were reminded not to drink blood from vampires you don't know. So
I'm
that
being
probably still
told,
rings in your mind.
I'm being told there's an opportunity to be changed. I don't
Don't
know
look at
what
me.
that entails.
Matthias, I'm going to make you do a self-control check for reasons.
Go on.
I just know I
making
took
spicy.
a bullet through the gut.
Well, you rolled an 8, a 7, and a 6, so that's technically 3 successes on a self-control check for you.
I give you a choice. A choice that should be given to all. You could be my child, or you could be a child of one of your companions. This choice is open to you.
I think out of game, and I would like the players' consent on this, and if necessary, the viewers' consent too. And that is, I feel that story-wise it's stronger that Lawrence should be dying, that he shouldn't have been able to recover, that this is a crucial point. That's what I feel. I don't know what you guys think. This should be... We're trying to get your character to be a vampire ASAP. You've told me you want to be a Malkavian. Here's your opportunity. Let's go hell for leather and put in the dramatics to make that work.
And even if he wasn't dying, he would have taken note of almost the sheer presence and command that Mattius had been displaying all the way here.
Right.
And would lean towards him over the hodgepodge of people that almost got me killed.
Right.
Regardless.
These are fair comments.
There is also another point as well, is that when I was helping to assist carry Lawrence, and I was actually inspecting him as a doctor, I had already been wounded at that point in time, as well bleeding.
Right.
So there is also potential that my blood may have mingled with his. Matthew may have trickled into his veins as well.
Ugh. Stop it. Just stop. Stop right there. Okay, we'll keep that in mind. Wow.
So if we're talking about Malkavian shit...
Right. There's a great opportunity there to be milked. So we'll keep that in mind as well. Okay, so what's Mattius going to do? You going to take him down to the crypt and embrace this motherfucker, or what? You want to throw? You can throw a dinner party. You can invite, local friends. You can do any of these things. You can tell stories till the dawn.
A new death day. A death day party.
Well, let's make yours a celebration and not mine, because for me it was basically, really? Do we really have to save you?
Exactly.
I think Mattius...
Mine started off like that.
Mattius, Ariel says to you in your mind that your guests require clarity.
Yes. Let us join the others, shall we?
All right. So you all gather them together in the library?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh no, there's a proper place to eat.
Okay.
A drink, in my case.
All right. So there's like a mess hall kind of a thing.
Yeah. It's a proper place to dine. Yeah.
All right. Excellent. So you go there.
Yeah.
All right. There's a servant in the corner. they have access to what? Anything? Blood or anything like that? Or is he just against that sort of thing?
We got blood because I'm a vampire.
Right.
I know other vampires, and yes, we got blood. We got a storage of blood.
Okay.
And we got a generator and stuff like that to do that.
Okay.
Oh,
And
hell
when
yeah.
Midnight Gardeners if need be.
All right.
You know.
Okay.
This is his right. This is his part of the world.
All right. So there's some Vitae on tap, but it's going to be cold, refrigerated, tastes bad, and it's like 3 to 1 for one drink, kind of deal. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
And
Go,
there's
go, go.
food for the mortal.
Food for the mortal, blood for the blood god.
Except
Preferably
while I'm
liquid at
drinking
the
up.
moment.
All right. Everyone can have a willpower point back if you've spent willpower.
And while you're all doing that, I've got to go for a second.
God damn it.
How much blood can I get back from just going ham? I need a lot of blood, so.
You can raid his stash and get all your blood back.
Oh, nice.
But you go through like 20 bottles of wine, so to speak, you know?
Yeah. Oh. Zara just like pats her belly in happiness and like.
It is pretty gross though,
very
to be
sleepy.
fair. It's not the greatest wine blood, you know.
No, but I haven't felt full in a while.
Right.
So.
And you haven't heard helicopters in a while either, or been stopped by anybody or had a gun pointed at you for at least about 6-7 hours now. So that's good.
Yes, the lack of getting shot at, I think, is a distinct positive.
The other thing that you will have noticed is that you would have heard that truck leave that was here that dropped you off. And since you've been here, you have not seen, with your eyes, a single weapon.
I looked out there and I signed, "This is weird." And then I signed, "You're an idiot."
This is weird. You're an
Just a
idiot.
second.
I go back to my book.
What are you reading? Agrippa?
Whatever was on the shelf it was like I was grabbing shit. I was walking by like,
Yeah.
books. Yeah, this is a good. Yeah, I've got this one. This is perfect. Yeah.
You've
Dead time conversation.
everything from Agrippa and Plato to Descartes and many of the medieval philosophers and alchemists and so forth, and a lot of Christian history and religious texts from all over the world. Including things like the Vedas and Buddhist texts, even some South American and African tribal texts and things, books about
If that's the
these
case,
things.
I'm looking for the Dead Sea Scrolls, like an actual straight translation of the Dead Sea Scrolls.
Right. There is no reference to the Dead Sea Scrolls. In fact, can you make anybody who cares to, who's actually investigating these shelves, can make a perception and investigation check to learn a thing.
I think, is it alright if I learn something that's not book related?
Well, you can do that, but that's not what this check is for.
Excellent.
But you can tell me what you're looking for, and I'll make a check for you.
Okay.
Jesse, what'd you get?
I got one success.
One success. Okay, well, after some time, it occurs to you that there are virtually no modern books on these shelves. Basically, all of the books on these shelves come from at least 200 or 300 years ago and range back much further, some of them. These are expensive copies and first-hand editions of some of these books.
Well, 200-300 years ago isn't that far if we're actually looking at language.
Yeah.
But if I'm looking at something from maybe like a Semitic language of some of the first releases of, I don't know, the Hebrew Bible, or maybe something in Aramaic,
Yeah, there would be versions of those. Yeah.
Those ones, I'd be like, yes.
Right.
Flipping those guys down.
Yep. There is probably a copy of the Sefer Zohar, for example, and some of the other Hebrew texts, and various other things. So just going through your library, Barry, Mattias's library.
Yeah. Yeah.
Would it be alright to try and go for a stealth point? I want to look around the building without anyone knowing me. Being there.
Okay, so you're going to basically say, like, I'm going to go to my room and then not?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want to make a stealth check, so Dex and Stealth.
Dex, Stealth.
Barry, you can DM this.
4.
4 successes on a Dex and Stealth. What does she find? What does she see?
You see, you come across a room that's got nothing but religious relics in it. All kinds of religions. You name it. All the world's religions. And old relics. From well back, you come across...
Any weapons?
I've already told them that they have not seen a single weapon on the property so far.
Yeah, that's why I'm looking. Come on, give me a sword.
And the guards that brought you here in that truck, they have left, so along with the truck.
No, there are no weapons. No weapons anywhere.
Out of game, is it? Okay, so I have. What am I trying to say? So Scheherazade is my sire, right?
Uh-huh.
Would she have mentioned or talked to me about Golconda?
That is a fair question, and the answer is, how old are you?
Like, my stats are quite low, but I've, like, built Zara as kind of, like, a newish character, so...
I think if you were, like, over 120 or 150, then she might have had that conversation.
Yeah, I don't believe I'd be that old.
It's still possible. How old do you think she is?
Let's see, she might have been turned, potentially, like, 10 to 20 years-ish, in between there somewhere. We can go 50.
I mean, I think it's fair and reasonable. Scheherazade certainly knows what Golconda is, and she has talked to you about what it is to be a vampire, etc., probably quite extensively. Depending on your response to her philosophy? Yeah.
Philosophy.
Depending on your responses to her epistemological responses to her philosophical conversation, depending on all of that shit. Basically, if you engage with her, she'll talk about it more. But if you seem to be like, yeah, I don't care about this nonsense, she won't.
Well,
so,
out of game, Zara loves Scheherazade. So, like, wholeheartedly.
Right.
So, I think she would have listened to her for hours.
Okay. In which case, sure. Okay. All right. So then, in which case, then you know about Golconda, you know about Carthage, you know about the Bruja, you know about the true Bruja, you know about the vampire Troil, and the downfall of Carthage, and what the Ventrue and the Toreadors did to, bloody blah.
I see. Okay. Do I think that this Mattius guy has reached Golconda because of the whole shattering of the stake?
Right. You can make a. I mean, I think that it's fair and reasonable that you could make that assumption. Certainly, I'm not going to tell you whether or not for sure. But,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I might go looking around, snooping for that sort of stuff.
Okay. Well.
Show me the way to Golconda.
Right. I don't think there's any... You don't find a book that says how to obtain Golconda for vampires. Or
Zara's not very smart, okay? She's looking for it anyway.
Golconda for dummies.
I was just going to... yes.
Right. It would have been the book.
Put it in chat.
Right, and yeah. So...
Where is it?
There is no obvious book that says that. But if you make a perception awareness check, or a perception investigation check, my apologies.
That's all right. That's better for me. Points into investigation. Yay! Oh, 1.
Ooh,
It's a 10, though.
it's a 10.
Yeah.
You find you find a book sitting on a shelf that it refers to itself as the Prince's Primer, and it has a bunch of essays in it. It's a bunch of photocopied and stapled together old scraps of paper that look like they've come off a dot matrix printer or something like that. Welcome, Raiders! Thank you so much for dropping in. We're playing Vampire the Masquerade. I'm Russell. This is Barry. That's Charlie. That's Jesse. And that over there changes his name every 5 minutes, but it's Isaac today.
Hi, Vancouver.
Oh, and Vancouver
All of
by night is here.
Vancouver.
Yay! Yes, we're playing vampires tonight. So, okay, so returning to our scene at hand, you've found this book, as I say, and it makes reference to vampires and clans and stuff like this in it. So there's that, and Insomnia Night. RPG is with us. Yay!
I'm going to pick up that book
Yep.
and go back to the main location.
All right. Very
Just
good.
bonk it in front of
Yeah.
in front of Arthur.
You also find a book called
Oh, more books.
More books.
Okay.
Yeah, you find another book called the Book of the Sacred Magic of Abramelin the Mage.
Take that one too.
It
That's
apparently pertains to the knowledge and conversation of the Holy Guardian Angel. It seems quite worn, this book.
bonk.
Bonk. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Callously thunk it on the table. All right, and there's a few other books, even books about yoga traditions and techniques as well. You know, chakras and so forth, and asanas and pranayama, breath, etc. Okay. And there's loads of books on Christianity, Christian history, esoteric Christianity, Christian Kabbalah, Jewish Kabbalah, Catholic, Hermetic Kabbalah, and so on. All there.
Okay. Well, for me, the main one I would go for is the one that mentions vampires, because that is what we are.
Right. Okay.
The other stuff is. It's not really, it doesn't take my interest
right.
so much.
The other stuff's all very highfalutin. There's even books on Goetia and so on, and Enochian spirits. But you're going to go for the Prince's Primer. Cool. Okay, so as I say, it's a series of essays. One of them is called The 5 Pillars of Power, that was written by Prince blah-de-blah at some date or another. Another essay is about how to basically use technology to fight the elders, because they don't have technology, they don't understand technology, and they're scared of it. And so technology is the thing the anarchs need to do. This kind of stuff. I'm not going to go. You can actually buy a copy of The Prince's Primer. It's a real book, and it's from 2nd edition Vampire, I think.
Oh, okay.
It's a cool book to read.
So I thump down the table in front of Arthur and push it towards him.
All right.
Can I help you? Yeah, I've already got a stack over here that I'm reading. Thanks.
I will walk over to him, pull the book out of his hand, and just throw it behind me.
What?
And put my finger down on this one.
That's the first of this in truth, but there's 3 of them. Like, what are we doing?
I push the book towards him.
What do you want me to read? What am I looking at? I start flipping pages. Like,
right. So as I described, it's a book called The Prince's Primer. It's got a number of essays in it. By various clearly kindred. This book is a walking, talking breach of the masquerade.
Not the... Oh, wait. I haven't introduced you to the masquerade, but you would know it from someone else.
Yeah, it was. Oh shit. Barry's first character
Vincent.
that I introduced to. What?
Vincent.
Vincent. Yeah.
Yeah.
Archon Vincent. Let's be fair.
Archon Vincent.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I didn't realize he was not.
Yes. Well, now you know.
Nor does Arthur. Still.
Right. Okay. So,
He's.
Mattius, let's get on with the show. Mattius, where are you? What are you doing? Besides having a meal, apparently. Is Mattius one of these vampires that maintains his appetite, and for his humanity's sake, he still eats a meal every night like the fucking Last Supper?
Well, if he's rich, girl, found it. I mean, potentially.
Potentially, yeah.
I can do that. And I do, to make him more comfortable.
All right, so Mattius is sitting at this big-ass table, and you guys are all kind of summoned around. This is where Zara, you're wandering around at this point, but everybody else is sitting at this table. And the table's in the mess room, that's right. And you can see through to the library from the mess room, so you can see Zara checking books out and so on before she comes in and plonks them in front of Jesse, right? That's what was happening. And Mattius is sitting there eating from a plate with a cup of wine. The servant standing just back from him in brown black robes, hood up, cross about their neck, beneath the column in the alcove at the back of this chamber.
So, what do you hope to gain from being what we are?
I hope to gain the power to take back my own destiny. I feel like I've been played as a pawn again and again with little to no recollection of it. And I find myself in peril's way repeatedly, ad nauseum, with no idea of what or why.
You do realize that at this very moment, you are following your destiny.
What do you know of my destiny?
What I know is, tonight you have a choice to make. Whatever that choice is, your destiny will be shaped by it.
Can I get perception alertness checks from everybody, please?
So I'm not in the same room.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
Okay. Perception alertness?
Yeah.
2. Look at that.
Look at
Doing
that.
things.
Look at that. You weren't even trying.
That's a
Doing
first.
things.
Yeah.
I got a 1.
You get a 1. Yeah, makes sense. Okay, you don't really hear anything. Maybe something muffled in the distance, but it's nothing compared to the fact that you're talking to this fucking ancient vampire right now. What'd you get, Jess?
We got 2.
2. In the distance, you can hear the sound of something like a helicopter.
I like the sound of that. Put the book down.
I also got 2.
You
Do I
got
hear
2?
that as well?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you can also hear that, yeah.
Okay.
It sounds like it's in the distance, but definitely a helicopter.
Well, now I'm back on high alert.
Yeah, I'm immediately looking for Peter. Peter. Hello, Peter.
Dad.
Exactly.
Peter Wicks, are you on? Give me a nod if you can hear us.
Yeah, what do you want?
Do you hear that? There's a fucking helicopter coming in us. I swear to God.
Yeah, it's a helicopter. It's either gonna come here and blow us up, or come here and drop somebody off.
And you're not concerned by a helicopter that's got big Gatling guns and phosphorus rounds.
You do notice I'm carrying my gun here, and I'm picked up all my stuff, and I'm ready to go just in case something happens. I suggest you do the same thing.
So, Peter, you're walking around this monastery with like a AK-47 over your shoulder. You don't give a fuck, right? You're just, okay. I mean, you can obfuscate it. You can obfuscate it into an umbrella or something if you want to, given that you have level 3.
I have a feeling that this dude, whoever he is, knows that I've got an AK-47, but he doesn't seem to be worried about it. So.
Right. Doesn't seem to care. True that. Okay, so what do you guys do now that you've heard this chopper?
We still have to catch up with our, where we were, right? So I had the books, I, slammed them on the table, asked Arthur to read them. I think I would have just gone back to ignoring it. Just to make it make sense. To me.
Okay.
Well, and if Peter doesn't seem concerned, I'm not going to be concerned.
All right. Matthias.
I'm going to go back to what makes me feel comfortable. I'm going to start reading those books.
All right, so you start reading those books. Matthias, the one of your servants is ringing the bell, and you know that means that there's a visitor arriving. Whoops. Bonus action to unmute yourself. Speak to me.
Gotta press a button.
You got to press the button.
Excuse me, but maybe your choice has arrived. And he goes to the door.
All right, so you move up out of wherever it is that you're having a conversation with Lawrence.
Yeah, out of the kitchen.
Okay. And you're heading through the building. And you hear, not that far away, a helicopter landing. And it's sort of just beyond, past them, there trees, beyond the garden. And shortly afterwards...
behind them to catch up, trying to keep up with the only host I currently have with me. All of my friends abandoned me.
Right. And when you get to the door, there stands a fellow in a robe, not terribly different to... You know what? I don't want to lie to that. I'm going to change that. He's wearing a white suit with a white hat, like a fedora.
Okay.
And he steps up to the front door, taking off a pair of mirrored shades. Matthias, you open the door. The door's open. Does he?
Is it who I think it is?
It is indeed who you think it is. Greetings, brother. It has been a while.
It has been a while.
You have taken in guests, I hear.
Oh, yes.
I have an interest in your guests, Matthias.
You do?
I do.
Perhaps you'd like to meet them.
I would very much like to meet your guests.
This way, please.
May I come in?
Of course, brother.
He looks down at the doorstep, the stoop, as he steps into the monastery. Everything seems much the same.
Oh, it's always much the same here.
He looks around as he wanders into the main room where you guys are all sitting reading, I guess.
I won't be reading.
You're not reading now? What are you doing now?
I think I'll just be looking around. I'll be looking at the book spines, but not the actually inside them.
Okay. Peter, are you standing in the corner, half obfuscated with an M16, an AK-47, ready to blast?
Blow away anybody who comes through that door.
Right.
That's gonna cause harm.
Right. Any trouble that breaks out, you intend to put it down swiftly.
Yes.
Okay, I see.
Yes.
Very good. Jesse, what are you doing?
Well, as I said, it doesn't look like Peter's too concerned. So I went back to the books and I'm doing cross-referencing. I've got my... I honestly, he didn't say he was concerned. I walked away. I went back to the books. My head's down on the books, looking at the books. I got my translation texts out there. I've got Aramaic, I've got Hebrew, I've got Latin. I mean, I'm good.
Wow.
That's what I'm doing.
Right. Very good. Majesty. The new figure in the room with the white suit. He uses majesty to obtain your immediate attention, and force you into basically status submission.
I collapse.
That's easy for you. You're already half collapsed. So yeah, basically the rules on this, the mechanics on this is that you cannot attack him, you cannot move within 6 feet of him, and you must treat him with respect. Basically,
Okay.
that's the simplified version. You can go against this by spending willpower points and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, I would have turned to have seen him, and I would have been hit by the majesty, so I will, like, immediately bow.
He nods back and takes off his hat. Brother, perhaps you have a hat stand?
In the corner to your left, as always.
Very good. He turns and goes and places his hat on the hat stand and takes off a long cravat that he had rolled up around his neck. Hangs it up there. Thank you. So, who are our new guests? I should say your new guests, Mattius.
Oh,
After
I'm
all,
sure they can introduce themselves. And I'm pretty sure you already know, but
Peter.
would you please introduce yourselves?
Peter Wicks. You're in the corner obfuscated, is that true?
Natural habit.
Yeah. This guy that's just taken off the white hat, he turns directly to you and his eyes flash for a moment, yellow, almost serpentine-like slits in his eyes. And he just smiles and he says, "You can join us."
But you're muted.
But you're muted, unlike
He unobfuscates.
Charlie's character, who's actually muted. But that's the character. Anyway, boom, boom.
He unobfuscates.
And that, folks, is how you're funny on TV.
All right.
So he unobfuscates. Okay, cool. I'm charmed. I'm Fuego.
Hey, good. You're a friend of his?
He turns to Mattius. Brother Mattius and I have known each other a very long time. Yes. He is, perhaps you might even say, my only friend. True friend.
So let's break down the boss tracks. What do you want with us?
What do I want with you? Well, you see, the question really, I feel, should be more inclined to be reversed. What do you want with me? After all, it has been you wandering about inside my domain, causing havoc, killing my people, inflicting grievous wounds upon my guards, upsetting the culture and community, and generally disrupting my operations. So, my question to you is, why are you here?
He looks at, crap, I can't see it.
Isaac, Peter, Fuego,
No, the,
Arthur,
What is
you
it?
got it.
You-
Zara.
Zara.
Yeah.
Right.
sorry, I forget.
That's okay.
He looks at Zara,
Mm.
and he does the old hand thing, and he's basically saying to you, "Are you going to tell him about your sire, or do you want to leave it out?"
Well, I look at Peter and then I immediately go back to the guy who's majesty me.
Yeah.
And I, with my other hand, I'm like, no, I just wave it off. So, not yet. Not yet.
So what did Brother Fuego just overhear? Like, what words were spoken? That
Nothing was spoken. It was all hand
it was
gestures.
all hand gestures. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
The only one that understood it was Mattius.
Right.
and of course,
Arthur.
yeah,
Lawrence.
Peter
Lawrence.
and Lawrence.
Yeah.
Arthur still has no idea.
So Arthur's like the token guy that doesn't speak sign language.
Correct.
Also, where's the kid gone? Is he around here somewhere?
Yeah.
Left him
He's
in the guest room.
yeah, he's in the guest room. He's asleep now. He's being tended to and fed and so on. He's now asleep.
Right.
He's been through a lot for one arm.
Yeah. That one-armed kid, Marco. What are you gonna do? Kill a snake with one hand.
Okay,
Somehow, just snapping its neck.
Yeah. Go on, Charlie. You want to say something?
I am gonna say, do you understand sign language?
To Fuego.
Yeah.
He looks at you and he says, "You'll have to forgive me. I do not have the international sign language yet, but perhaps you can teach it to me. I would enjoy that."
I humbly and graciously decline. This is me being like a polite version of my normal self.
Right. He
It's painful.
walks around the table where you guys are kind of located, and as he does, I'm thinking it's a big round table for some reason, and he puts down on the table some lumps of gold, and as you see these lumps of gold, I will have you make perception and investigation checks.
Okay. Two. Yeah.
Okay, so you got...
I'm still operating on a -2.
All right, so you got
Yes,
zero?
you are.
Zero for you, was
I
it?
got a 0.
Jesse, did you get anything?
Or what, sorry?
Perception and investigation.
God dang it.
God dang it. Doggone.
Oh,
Yeah,
nice.
Have it.
That's beautiful.
Hey, double 10s.
Double
The King of
tens.
Beauty.
Nice. So Peter got 0 successes. All right, and what did you get, did you say? 2 successes.
Or
Me?
me?
Just tell
I
me
got-
again who got
I
what.
got 2.
Zara
Arthur
got
3.
2.
Yeah.
You got 3. Okay.
Yes.
All right, keep that in mind.
Like a steel trap.
Like a steel trap. Keep that in mind. All right, so Mattius, what are you doing?
No.
Mattius is watching his old friend.
Okay, fair enough. So he takes out these 3 pieces of gold and places them on the table, and those of you with the high rates of success, 2 or 3 successes, you realize these are like Aztec, Mayan gold, 3 different civilizations. These lumps of metal, these artifacts are from, and he places them on the table. Yes.
I haven't actually given you my backstory, but Zara's family used to be in the gold trade.
Ah, okay.
So,
So she's a dirty colonist exploitation cohort.
yes, but
Excellent.
yeah, sit in Saudi Arabia.
Okay, all right, fair enough. Well, you definitely recognize this is high quality gold, but you don't know anything about the cultural significance of it. Arthur, what did you get on this check? Was it 3? All right. This stuff is exquisite. This stuff is beyond museum grade kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's the sort of stuff people would kill for. And he places these 3 objects on the table in front of you all. He looks up at you, Mattius. A gift, brother. This Aztec, this one Mayan, and this one we do not even have a name for the civilization.
I'm sure I will find one.
If you Well, I'm sure nobody's so concerned with finding the name. I'm sure the people are all dead. There's no getting that name, brother. But if you look at the gold, you'll see the religious significance. Here are the icons, and he points out the artistry and the images on the object itself.
Do you have any guests, brother, staying with you? Any new ones?
He looks about at the rest of you and looks back at you. Are you inclined to come? I have rooms available.
Oh, I know you have rooms available. So you don't have any new guests then?
Not at present. But I should like to invite your fellows here for some festivities, if they were so desired, if they were interested.
They are free to make their own decision, as you know.
Let me have a look at a character sheet momentarily. Can I get perception and occult checks from anybody that's really paying attention to this guy?
It's hard not to. He majesty us.
That's true. That's true. Just one. Okay. Well, the funny thing about his cross that he has around his neck is that it has this serpent wound around it, coming from the top of the Tau cross.
Right, we've covered this before. They aren't good people.
I don't know they're not good people.
Nor do I.
We've met them before. Well, people looking under that sign. We were in the church with that.
It was brief, it was grotesque, it was terrifying. Arthur probably would have lost most memory of what have actually happened during the early parts of their incursion into these territories. I mean, he's already had, 2 mental breakdowns thus far.
Right.
So.
Right, and
because of that eidetic memory.
That's about one every 2 days.
Well, Zara, if she's seen it, she would recognize that is something that we saw, and it was not from a good place.
Yep, that's fair. That's fair. Okay, cool. Yes.
But I'm also being polite, so I won't stake him. I mean, I don't have one on me.
You're also Majesty, so you won't stake him.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Right.
Majesty it has got me.
As
he power to stake him.
He steps up next to you, Zara, reaching into his pocket. He says something there. Takes out a few more crumbles of gold and lays them down in front of you, on the table right next to you. It's a probably $10,000 worth of gold, just in dust and little pieces.
I will pick it up and look at it.
It's very high.
And then I'll be like, what is the significance of this? Well, I'll sign that knowing full well they can't understand me.
Right. He turns to the group, looking at you guys for any kind of reaction or translation, and if he gets one, he'll pay attention, but if not, he'll...
She says, what is the significance of this?
Oh. Well, I thought perhaps a gift, a souvenir of these parts might be at hand. It's not much, I admit, but I could get you more if you wish to share it among your friends.
Zara says, respectfully, I decline. And I put it down on the table. I bow again, and I back away.
So, Mattius, will there be festivities on this night?
There may be.
Surely we should relive the great conversations of the Conventions of Thorns.
Relive that?
We have not talked of these times for many a decade, if not century.
It is before their time. They would not be interested, surely.
Ah, these young ones, yes, perhaps not interested in the history of vampires, the past. Not concerned with the progenation. That's not even a fucking word.
Well, progenation is a word.
Is it a word? It is a word. The progenation of vampires. There you go.
Yep.
No, they probably wouldn't be interested that you staked Raphael de Corazon.
He looks down at the table when you mention him staking Raphael de Corazon. The rest of you can make history checks. History? Is that a check in vampire?
It'd be academics.
Academics. Okay.
Yeah.
So all right. So wits and academics.
So what's them?
Or to hear of the great castle
No.
we went to.
No wits.
And I am still trying to be polite, but my attention span isn't that great, so...
I've noticed that about a few of your characters, Charlie.
That's just me.
Finally, the intellectual muscles come through, Arthur.
Oh,
Yeah. Would you
Says you. Lawrence is bleeding out with 2 successes and a 10.
get 2 successes?
Tell me more about the history of vampires.
brother,
Hold on a
I
second.
wonder if you would excuse me.
Hold. Yep. Yeah. So Peter got 1 success as well on that check.
and all Peter says is, holy shit. Because he realizes how old that is, how way back that is.
Right. So those of you that get any sort of more than 1 success in your history and academics check, wits and academics check for the history of vampires, you will realize that Raphael de Corazon is instrumental historically for being the inventor of the masquerade and one of the vampires present at the founding of the Camarilla at the Convention of Thorns, if I'm not wrong. He's also the sire of the current Prince of Rome. Yeah, Lawrence wouldn't know that.
The current Prince of London.
Zara, you would probably know this stuff. There's a good chance you would know this stuff.
Well, I rolled a -1, so...
-1, okay. So
Yeah.
despite there being a good chance of you not knowing this
Is that a
stuff,
cereal nest?
remarkably you don't know anything.
Well, technically I'm not really a part of the Camarilla.
Right.
So...
True. All right, Peter, you got 1 success, so I'll give it to you. You know about Raphael de Corazon.
Okay. He realizes he's out of his league.
Absolutely.
In a big way. In a gigantic way. In fact, I think for the first time he had panic in his heart.
Oh boy.
You mean to tell me that you were both there?
Fuego nods.
At the creation
We saw the founders of the clans and sects, well, of our 2 sects.
You're muted. I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Check.
Now I can. Now I
We can
can.
hear you.
Yeah. We saw you were at.
Yes, do you remember how to start?
Mm-hmm. I remember it all, brother, as it was.
Yes. That supper that we attended in the Balkans.
When I saw the taps in the necks of the people, I should have known.
Yes.
I should have run.
Who was it that you spoke to first at that soiree?
I do not remember.
I feel Somehow that I recall it was my sire who spoke to you before she even approached me.
Oh, that is right. That is right. But I did not live up to...
Yes, your purity, Brother Mattius, knows no bounds. He turns to the rest of you and he says, our Brother Mattius here has a remarkable true faith.
But, to be ironic, it is faith that you gave me, brother, in the start.
And that is indeed where the irony lays. As your faith was solidified by the embrace, mine was transformed.
And you became, of course, a Sithite.
Well, I consider myself a minister.
You are more than minister, and you know this, brother. Much more.
In any case, I do not want to bore our guests with our conversation. Perhaps we should hear them regale us of their stories. Perhaps these...
Please continue.
He looks over at Lawrence. Now, where is Lawrence exactly, and what is he doing? I mean, obviously he's fucking nearly dead, but apart from that...
Since they had been talking, Mattius in the other room, he had followed him basically to the door.
Yeah.
But had been standing kind of behind Mattius when we let Fuego in, so I'm not sure I've drawn his attention at this point. But once we made it into the library sitting area, he's likely just kind of leaning across a chair, half leaning on the table. With deep, ragged breaths.
All right.
Still a part of everything, but he's no longer bleeding out, so...
Right.
I need to keep working.
Fuego turns to you, Mattius, and he says, I should like to talk to that one privately.
He has a choice to make.
He does.
I'd like to wave. I'd like to wave at them because they're probably not looking at me. And I can't yell at them to get their attention. So I'm gonna say I'd rather we go together from now on. Sorry, you can't understand me.
Are you hitting on me, Zara?
Zara says, "Oh no."
It is fair that you explain to the young one before he makes his choice.
So, Lawrence, are you standing or sitting or laying?
Who?
He's sitting and leaning against the table.
Okay. Fuego walks around behind you, puts his hand on your shoulder, almost tentatively, carefully, sort of almost sensually, passing around behind you, and then sits down next to you. He leans and he says, I can smell the death on you, my child. You do not have long now. Hours.
So I've been told.
It is a terrible wound, a belly wound like that. I've seen men almost recover after days of agony and devastation, only to pass away from the following ailments that succeeded.
Don't tell me about the sepsis. Don't.
Your friends killed some of my people, you know.
Yeah, and they've almost killed me too.
I see that.
Both them and your people.
Now is the time, young one.
But you seek something, don't you? Something more. Power.
Power to be able to control my own destiny, yes.
Destiny?
I'm tired of being sent on blind
Destiny?
orders.
Destiny?
Oh,
Destiny is a lie.
He's going to look immediately to Mattius and say,
Oh, we've had this confrontation. Fuego turns to Mattius too. We've argued many times over the years.
For centuries.
But you may choose to stand with our friend Mattius, or, better
You will be my
yet,
first child, if that is the case.
come to me.
I'm going to turn and put my hand behind my back, but I want Peter to be able to see what I'm writing, what I'm signing.
Uh-huh.
I'm going to say that I don't trust these old men.
So Peter hears that, right? Peter's like,
He's waiting for the moment. Here we go. You spray yourself with gunfire.
Peter's like, what's your character's name, sorry?
Zara.
No.
me?
Oh.
The one that wants that's dying.
Lawrence. Yeah.
Lawrence.
Peter goes, Lawrence, now's the time. Make up your mind. The son of a bitch over there or this nice guy over here. Make up your fucking mind.
Did you just call Brother Fuego a son of a bitch? I'm just checking.
In front of him, under Majesty.
Under Majesty.
Yeah, if he gets to hiding, he gets it. But he's at the point where,
Okay.
And then I'll sign to Lawrence. What is this? What you were supposed to do? As in, what you've been conditioned. Is this what you're supposed to do? Is this what we're supposed to do?
Lawrence, you're aware that you are well off script.
Before I answer Zara, and I know this is the wrong game, is there anything that I can do similar to an insight check?
Yeah.
Fuego?
Perception and
I see Super Pure Man over here.
perception and empathy.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that before.
Oh, okay. You hear
And I'm still,
his tone just
rolling with a bleeding out.
his tone crashes at that point. I'm going to give you some experience and empathy, though. I'm going to give you 2 XP towards empathy. What did you get, though?
I got 1 success.
1 success. Yeah. What are you looking for? You can see that Mattius is kind of the good guy here. Maybe, could be.
Maybe.
The angel on your shoulder.
Yeah. And you're sort of trying to see where Fuego fits in against that. What you can see is that these two have known each other. They clearly have some kind of affection for each other. They don't appear to be agreeing on all points. So they clearly have, distinct opinions and such from one another. But they clearly share history. That's about, I don't know. Do you have anything more specific you want to ask?
What?
Yeah.
As long as the 2 of you have been alive, what are your goals? What drives you? If I'm to choose a path to follow, I'd like to at least know what lies down the road.
Are you asking me or Brother Mattius first?
First,
Mattius, I feel you should go first. Unless, Lawrence, you have a preference, of course.
I've had the opportunity to talk with Mattius for a while. I haven't been able to discuss what the future may hold with him.
I see.
Give me a second. But
for a man that's dying, you have a lot of questions.
You said I still got at least an hour or 2, right?
I didn't say that it wouldn't be painful, though.
Die quieter.
Can you just die quietly, please?
Quieter.
For fuck's sake.
Zara's not putting her hat in to become your sire as well. She's taken that off the table now that she knows that there are other people there, so she just doesn't look at you.
To which I turn to Zara and I sign.
Don't look at you.
No, Fuego.
Yes.
You are entirely new to me.
And
if you would,
to me. Yes,
what
my child.
Is it that you aim for? What future would the path hold were I to follow you?
I see. Well, the ministry is everything to us. We promulgate it across all lands, nations, and borders. We're not contained by such constructs and factions as the Camarier or the Sabbat. We operate freely about all places. For you, I would imagine that you would begin your training and ministries with some of our more centralized, civilized chapters. That's how I would imagine it. I imagine that the law handed down to you, the Logos, the word of our master Set, would arrive in your ears very individually. How you interpreted that could be seen in many ways. But if you were to be made my child, or if you were to join our faction and work among us, there is much good work to be done here, even within these valleys. Far and wide, you would have the cream of whatever it was that you desired, all of your mortal appetites fulfilled, beyond your wildest dreams, money, substances in the blood, pleasures of the flesh, the thrills of madness.
He is going to turn to the others in the group and kind of mouth to them, what do you call bloodlines, families, what? And then I turn back to
Fuego?
Yes. And say, what
clans?
Faction are you of?
The bloodline from which I hail descends directly from the vampire Set. Set, Shaitan, Satan, Saturn, all of these names apply to my progenitor. I come via another series of individuals whose blood has been passed down for several generations before me. My sire's name, Misar. We are commonly referred to by the outsiders, shall we say, as Setites, but we call ourselves the Ministry of Set. I hope I have answered your question sufficiently.
You have. Thank you. And then he will turn to Mattius and just kind of stare at him.
Mattius, one of the things I'd like you to consider at this point is that whilst everything that Brother Fuego said is pretty much true, he's also leaving out a lot of stuff too.
As they would.
My brother leaves out much stuff.
Mattius, you betray me.
That
Friend.
you have seen with your own eyes. I only ask him to remember what he has seen.
What
and
is
what
it?
you will create at some time if you choose this destiny. But it is your destiny. And is that not what you are looking for? If you come to me, all I can promise you is where you wish to go, I will help you go there. I will guide you as much as I can. But in the end, it will be all up to you.
And
it will be what you do that matters.
And I can offer you, too, that whatever it is your deepest desires wish, you can have.
Would Arthur's occult readings ever actually end what he's read before and after being embraced? Would there be anything in the history that would have actually bore reference to Set Setites, the Ministry, or even Masura Beshtet?
I mean, certainly you could have studied historical records, and Set as a god, obviously, Set being the supposedly evil god of the Egyptian pantheon, also referenced as Typhon at times, the destroyer. In ceremonial ritual magic, you have the formula IAO, Isis, Apophis, Osiris, and Isis is, the mother goddess. Apophis is the destruction, and Osiris is the god rising. So the dying and rising god, Osiris, and Typhon or Set is the function in that formula of destruction.
Yeah, formulaically, I mean, even in chemistry, there's even references.
Wow.
It's kind of weird, but...
Interesting.
Yep. So there would have actually been some reference to Children of Rebellion, and I think I would have actually made some sort of correlation to Thorns and the confrontation between the Camarilla and the Anarchs, and at some point in time. And I think at that point in time, that memory would have kicked in and was like, you got to make a decision, but if you're going to make the decision, you're going against a whole lot of what I see is a lot of tradition that's actually been trying to maintain a level of authority. I mean, you'll be a child of anarchy at this point.
Are you saying this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I sign never trust a snake.
And okay.
To which Lawrence would turn to Fuego and say, at the risk of gaining your ire, I will have to respectfully decline the offer, given the input and opinions of those about me.
He takes your hand for a moment. Please, I am not at all offended. You have made your own choice, the best that you can, the best way that you could. I applaud you. But do not forget...
Though I will ask...
Yes.
Given that you seem to have many years beyond many of those I've encountered thus far, I will ask your tutelage in the future at some point.
Yes,
show me
of
some
course. Please do come and find me. I would be very, very happy to assist you in any way. You will always be welcome among us.
I thank you much. And then I turn to Mattius and say, with me taking your hand, Mattius, I ask only one favor. Zara, I don't know what to expect going through what I'm about to.
I say expect a great deal of pain.
And Lawrence, you cough up some more blood at that point, and you can feel chunks of meat in the coughing.
Zara, can you join?
Look, Zara says I'll go, but I'm going to sit in the corner.
Oh.
Because I know what happens. I know what comes next.
If you're starting to barf up necrotic tissue, you're...
People in the chat.
That's not great. That's not
hello.
Great. which then raises the question: would this potentially send anyone in this room into a frenzy since I just said bleh all over the table?
I know Zara's
wants to
recently.
vomit.
Zara's kind of filled up. It is bloody meat vomit. Lung vomit. I don't know if it's particularly.
Like you've never gone for a ready-made stew.
You're like, delicacy. I don't know. I'm not sure anyone's going for it. Maybe.
You know, Lawrence, I appreciate the offer, but I'm gonna have to pass.
Any takers?
Fuego takes out a salt and pepper shaker and. No, I'm kidding. I lie. I jest.
I keep my seasonings with me for the blood that gets away.
I'm being very serious now. Very serious now.
I will go with you.
Thank you, Sarah.
But once again, in the corner, away from what's about to happen.
All right. So where are you gonna take him? I mean, the front of the no. Where are you gonna take him? Oh, I cannot hear you.
Yep, unmute yourself.
This is bonus action to unmute yourself.
You know, it's like it's a bathroom. It's got a big heated swimming area, that sort of thing.
Okay, like a almost like a Roman bath kind of.
That's it.
whole thing.
That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah.
I'm trying to think about it because I'm trying to keep it in
not
the
Roman, not
Spanish
Roman,
conquistador-y kind of a deal. Yeah, but yeah, sure. Okay, it's a bath.
Yeah.
Takes
him down there
where
does
it's
the
just a
deed.
bathhouse.
Is it candlelit, gaslit?
Candlelit.
Right.
Oh, before this happens, Lawrence, Zara will say to Lawrence that, oh, by the way, his clan is known to be crazy, mental illness, crazy. So, have fun.
And Mattius gonna
Looks back at Fuego.
Fuego, he doesn't smile or anything at that. He says, it is an unfortunate truth that the clan of Morkav is afflicted by a great proportion of broken minds. They can have no effect upon them. Take Mattius, for example. His clan weakness is remarkably been turned upon its head, and he instead finds faith and strength within this divine madness that he has achieved. Some might call it gnosis, others perhaps Golconda. Who knows?
Another question. So Lawrence knows Mercy. Does Lawrence know Mercy's clan?
Does Lawrence remember Mercy?
I don't remember if it's called.
I don't think.
That's the question.
There was one time you said that it's hard to forget Mercy.
You did say
You
that.
said that.
That
We've
is
had
true.
this question
It is
before.
hard to forget Mercy, and even against the dominating attempts to force him to forget Mercy, she is hard to forget.
Yes.
So what about her? I don't think he would remember everything about her, but he might have images of her that might haunt his fucking nightmares.
In the best ways possible.
Right.
It might be a reference for him to figure out what he might end up becoming like if he knows what clan
I
she
see.
was.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
Yep.
I feel like she might occur to him at the last second. As he's going into all of this, he's thinking about what's coming. He's kind of mulling over the words. The madness kind of rings in his head. And as whatever happens begins, because I'm still not entirely sure what the process is.
You have visions of Mercy being like, don't go in the red doors. Don't go in the red doors.
It's I just see a couple of flashes of her, and that time she cornered me in the alleyway behind the hotel.
Right.
And I go, oh crap, what? by the time she occurs to him, it's too late for him to use her as a reference. It's just mulling over what this supposed madness can be and be like, oh no, I do have an example of that.
And
too late.
Mattius says to you, I ask you, may I watch your becoming? I would be honored.
Fuego?
Fuego, and yes.
Sorry, Fuego, yes. What am I saying?
I would be honored.
Thank you. Thank you very
It
much.
seems
I can assist
more-
if you need assistance, Mattius.
it seems
there
more
any
than
such thing
right
as a
that
dual
you
clan?
should be here for my first child, brother.
It's called being a cater.
Yes. All right, so they take Lawrence into, like, the Undercroft or something? Oh, the baths.
With
The
Zara.
baths, that's right.
The bars, or whatever they call them.
The bath.
Yeah.
It's just a bathroom,
The
really?
bath.
I
Yeah,
don't
just a
know.
bathroom, nothing flash.
Okay. Okay, and you embrace him.
Yeah.
How does it... Any details you want to share, guys?
Oh, well, yeah.
It happened.
Zara's in the corner looking at her nails. Because she's been through a lot of
All right.
shit right now.
So Mattius grabs you, Lawrence, and drains you of all your blood. Then, Mattius, you're not going to do this like horribly or meanly.
No,
It's going to be kind of gentle.
he's going to use his dominate to make the pain less and things like that.
Okay.
A man as golden as him, it's practically a baptism we're going through.
Right. It is
Yeah.
actually. Yeah, this is much more of a ritual. Yeah, especially with
Yeah.
Fuego here actually. Okay. And as you guys are going through the embrace, Fuego does things like, because he shares the same Christian upbringing that you had, he
Yeah.
burns candles and incenses and stuff on the altars and what have you, even in the bathroom,
Yeah.
to make it feel somehow special, spiritual, and a little
Yeah.
bit more than it is. Okay, so Lawrence, you're now a 7th generation Malkavian.
Like Mercy.
Like Mercy.
Yay.
Mercy 7th as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mercy, mercy, mercy. Yep. So, cool. 7th generation Malkavian, with all the characteristics of a vampire. So you're going to roll for me. What is it? Did we say 3d10 is the number?
2d10.
2d10. 2d10, please. This is the number of hours.
No, don't say anything. Don't say anything.
Don't say anything.
Let him roll first.
Let him roll.
2d10.
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 Go.
And double 4s. I've got 8.
8 hours. That's good. So that
That's
it
not
is.
too bad.
It is going to take 8 hours of shitting, puking, writhing, throwing yourself around, screaming, twisting, and generally being very uncomfortable as your body dies and is reborn a vampire.
But I was able to do it in the bath, so through it all, I am fly as fuck now.
Other. For
That's-
other.
That's right. That's right. And I mean, there's like chalk and cheese here. There's some serious dramatic, contrast.
Yeah.
Most intense bath I've ever taken.
Yeah. Fuck yes, it is, and it's red by the time you guys are done.
Possibly brown.
Possibly brown. In fact, yeah, it was probably more brown than red now. Thanks, Lawrence, for pointing that out. A stream of, what do you call them, servants, peasants, come running with buckets and helping, pouring water, hot water, keeping things going hot and blah, blah, until... and this is going to go on through the day at this point, because around about this point, Fuego says to Mattius, I will stay here at your Elysium if I may.
You know you are always welcome, brother.
Thank you. Forgive me, but I shall retire. I shall see the newly born childer upon the morrow.
There is no forgiveness to be had, brother.
Very well. And he leaves.
I would attempt to say goodbye, but I'd only vomit and shit myself. So
Right. So you are going to be left in the hands of a Mother Gretel of the Order of Saint Jude for the period of the daytime, who's going to look after you, basically. She will answer some questions, but not all questions. She will bring you anything you need. And 8 hours later, you will be a vampire. Dun, 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 dun!
I think go back to bed.
Right. And then go back to bed. So as for the rest of you, you guys, Fuego has kind of basically left to go to bed. And Mattius, I don't know what you're going to do.
I will stay with him as long as I can.
Okay. With your true faith and your very, very high, shiny humanity of 10, you are able to stay up very late indeed, much later than the average vampire, who has to go to bed and gets very tired and eventually collapses. You, however, can stay up pretty much until the sun broaches the horizon.
Okay.
And thusly, everybody else will have been to bed by the time you sleep.
Mm-hmm.
So you're the first to rise and the last to sleep.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, with this little moment here where we have everybody is asleep pretty much and Lawrence is going through his embrace, I'm going to take 5 minutes to powder my nose and
Sweet.
allow you guys to have a 5-minute break. No more than 5 minutes. We don't want these lovely 19 people watching our stream to run away, so we're going to have to keep their attention. So, do stuff, dance, talk to them, juggle,
Lawrence, can you share your
whatever
screen?
skills you have.
Like on your stream, can you share it and I'll help you walk through the transformation? Well, the best I can.
Oh,
Okay?
okay.
Sorry, just
On
giving you
the stream, you
if
say,
you want
on the
to, if
stream,
you
my
want to
screen.
see the character sheet, etc., go to Isaac's as well, because we like having you here as well. Okay, so I can see everything. All is good. Okay. So where you have disciplines there? Oh, actually, I can't see past Cypher.
Yeah, I haven't.
Oh. Did you type in your sire and your clan? Yeah. Oh, yep, you've done that. Very good. Okay. Nature and demeanor we could do after this. Because that's going to take a little while. So yeah, for the disciplines, for a new character, they get three free choices, but as you're a Malkavian, you have the disciplines obfuscate, so you want to write in this side, obfuscate, and then dominate, and auspix. Oh, and I've got an ad, great. That's fine.
Well, now it's spell aspects. I'll fix it later.
Okay.
This is the great thing about being in Katif. I don't have to be bound by those pesky boundaries.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, exactly.
Oh.
So, and then, so you get to pick like what ones you want to put in there. Like it could be like 2 in 1, could be all 3 in 1. It could be 1 in each.
Chew.
And what is Auspex?
Auspex is like seeing through like a veil of. How do you explain it, Arthur? It's being able to see and hear things more clearly, and
it's all about it's all about perceptions and your ability to read people's auras and their emotions, see through darkness, see through invisibility. Eventually you could even pierce obfuscation completely, so it's really good if you're going up against like Peter's character. If you don't like people hiding from you, go Auspex.
You can pick up items and you can read them at a certain level, so you can glean who touched it last.
Yeah.
There are other things later. Currently, what you get at first level is heightened senses. So, like, everything will be heightened. And that means, like, if something explodes in your ears, you're going to be deaf. You're going deaf. And then, okay, so obfuscate is disappearing. It's not actually
I'm a
becoming...
lawyer.
It's not actually becoming invisible. Yeah. It's the fact that everyone can't see you. So you're still there. But
they do everything
their perception.
They do everything they possibly can to not notice you. So unless you're like literally, like bonking them on the forehead, they will do everything they can to kind of look past you, around you, and just not notice you. And even if you're sitting right next to them, they will sit beside you and do everything they can to just... That space just seems occupied or does not exist to them.
Yeah, like when Mercy was... Like when Mercy was in your hotel room.
Yeah, I tripped over her.
Yeah, that shouldn't have happened, but it's fine. It was quirky, and I liked it. Okay, so there's that. So first level is that you can only do that while standing still. Second level means you can walk around and do it. I think you have to roll a check if you wanted to like whisper something, but you have to be incredibly quiet. Otherwise, you break off the skate. Like if you try and attack someone, you break off the skate. Yeah, all those sort of things. You can read up on that later. I forgot to say, Auspex level 2 is aura perception. So being able to read a person's aura might be good for a lawyer to do that. It's up to you.
That's why I went for it.
I'd say dominate would be the best one for a lawyer.
I was torn between dominate or Auspex. Being able to read and understand who I'm approaching, or screw that and just twist them.
So with dominate, the first level is you can only do one word commandments. You can't command anyone that is lower in generation than you. So pretty much you can't dominate me.
and you can't.
But you can dominate Peter.
Yeah, you can't normally dominate somebody to the degree where you are forcing them to do something that is against their direct nature.
Yeah. These are probably things you're not going to know, but eventually you'll know.
So, you cannot actually tell somebody to commit suicide. It's extraordinarily difficult. You can eventually, but it's just early on.
Unless they're actually suicidal, it's within their nature, right?
Yeah, that's cruel,
true. But yeah. So that's those are just like brief rundowns of the first 2 levels of them. We can go into the third ones, but Russell's here. So,
and you need to kind of learn some of the stuff in game as well. So
these are the ones that he he's a new vampire, so he gets like 3.
Yeah. But for sure. You get 3 dots straight up. But I would like you to role play figuring them out.
Okay.
I'll tell you about preview points after the session.
Yeah.
Well.
Like, as a perfect example, like my thaumaturgy, I only took the first level because it made sense in the way I actually obtained it. And then later on with the Theft of Vitae, it made sense when Matthew decided to make an appearance. That all of a sudden Matthew Hawthorne was taking over and saying, hey, you know what? No, bro, you know how to do this. It's okay. I got this for you. So everything else in between, like, in between the what he knows when he began and how he ended up, there's a bunch of other shit in between that he still doesn't even know.
All right. Well, your embrace comes to a satisfying conclusion when you finally stop writhing and basically dying, and your body comes to rest at last. And now you're feeling the best you've ever felt in your whole life. You feel totally vital. You have no wounds, no sores, no cuts, not even the tiniest mark on your body. That little annoying mouth ulcer at the back of your tongue is gone. All these little things like that just have cleared up remarkably. And you look the best and feel the best that you've ever felt since you were like 10.
Got my kidney back.
I don't know about that. Maybe. You don't really need a kidney anyway, so whatever. I don't care. You can have a kidney back if you like. Whatever. Having woken up, not woken up because you haven't slept, have you? You've been awake through this whole procedure. And Mother Gretel has looked after you incessantly that whole time. Have you asked her any questions or anything, or you just let her do her thing?
Let her do her thing, but I'm pretty sure she's already familiar with me. She was one of my contacts at one point in the Roman Catholic Church.
Right. Isn't that weird?
What about the hunger?
The hunger, yeah. So it's
always on your mind.
I've been gnawing those statues.
It's starting to dawn on you that you have this one thing that is no longer feeling perfect, and that is the hunger is beginning to rise. This sharp, incessant pain in your mind and in your belly rides up through your nervous system, trying to take control of you. You're gonna make a self-control check.
Yeah.
That's just okay.
Just the dots as dice.
Success.
Jesus, you got a lot of self-control.
2 more successes, 1 a 10, and then I have 1 more to roll. So 3 successes, 1 is a 10,
Okay.
and that one's an 8. 4 successes out of 5 self-control
Hey,
rolls.
Very
Jesus.
good. So you are maintaining total control of yourself.
I'm up out of my fetid water like, I am alive!
Right. Now, Mattius, where did you sleep? Do you go back to your room when the sun comes up, or do you sleep on the floor in the bathroom, or...
I sleep in my room,
Okay.
and I come back.
Right, once the sun's gone down. Okay,
Yeah.
so about half an hour after you wake up, Lawrence, the sun has already gone down, and not to wake up, I mean to say, after the embrace is finished, Mattius appears in the room, and Mother Gretel steps back and stands in the corner.
He bows to her
She nods gently.
because he has great respect for her. And how has he been, Mother?
She speaks in Spanish, and she says, "He has done well. He has done well, brother Mattius. He has done well. He has survived. I've kept him safe and clean. I believe the transformation is complete."
Have I given you enough finances for the church repairs?
Oh, of course, brother.
Good. What do you think of this one?
I cannot say. I am not sure. Not yet. We have not seen his actions. I know
You
that
know.
the young one, Marco, speaks well of him.
Good. And this Marco, is he better amongst us now?
Yes, he seems to be safe and adjusting.
Tell him if he wishes he may stay.
Of course, I have done so.
Good.
I shall leave you here now.
Thank you, Mother.
She leaves.
How are we this evening? Childer.
I feel new. Alive?
Does it not sound strange to say? Alive.
Wait, I can't feel my heartbeat. What are we?
We are vampires. We are children of the night. We can consider it a blessing or a curse. What it becomes for you is up to you, and you alone.
I understand, I believe.
I will teach you needed disciplines.
And he bows.
Very good. If you wish, we can say that is the point where you teach him his first 3 dots of disciplines.
Yeah.
And thusly, Lawrence, you now can activate your... You got level 1 Auspex, Obfuscate, and Dominate? Is that what you got?
Those are the 3. Am I starting them all on level 1?
I think so.
Okay.
I mean, you can choose to mix them differently if you want. But if you're happy to start with all at one, level 1, that's good.
He's only just waking up as a new baby chick finding his legs. It's fine for him to be an all-rounder until he learns what he is.
Right. Okay. Cool. That sounds very reasonable to me. Okay, so after about an hour or so, Mattius, you've trained him in these few disciplines enough that he can do them, basically. And the others rise.
I'm gonna go find Mattius.
All right.
Which I assume is with the new guy.
Right. So, well, he's indisposed at present. Mother Gretel will deflect your attempts to get to him for a little while.
I start signing furiously, and it's jumbled nonsense. It's just, I assume she can't read, so I'm just I'm not bothering.
She smiles a lot and shakes her head.
All right.
I'm gonna celerity past her. Boosh.
Lawrence might actually ask Mattius where Zara is, since he did specifically request her presence, not thinking about the fact that the sun was coming.
She may be awake. I do not know.
I celerity past her, and I'm probably standing there as you're thinking that.
Or she is just here.
I start signing Mattius, can you teach Arthur? I didn't do any of that.
You want me
Hey, since you're already training one.
It's 2 birds, 1 stone. Arthur's a stone.
Jeez, I feel like the first positive thing she's done is a sire.
Please, she's introduced Arthur to Peter.
Mattius signs, what disciplines do you want him to learn? You see, I might not have them.
Just teach him the other nonsense. It reads the, beginner's guide to vampirism.
Well, Lawrence, Lawrence, you actually do speak sign, don't you?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and you probably are listening to this conversation, and you've just learned 3 new disciplines. You could show her. Possible. Just saying.
Yeah, let's try.
Don't have to.
Let's try showing off while we stand on the first time.
And Mattius is just gonna sit and watch this with amusement.
I'm seeing Lawrence kind of climbing out of the bath, kind of naked at this point, and getting bathrobe.
No, we've had the time to train before she came in. So I probably would have gotten somewhat decent.
All right, so you're dressed. You're either wearing robes or a bathrobe, or your original clothes, which will have been cleaned by now, but they're still full of holes. Big holes.
Probably bottoms, the pants with belt, no shoes, no socks, no shirt, just the pants while I'm training.
Okay. Fair enough.
And I will test out my abilities as can I attempt obfuscate as a oh shit reaction when she just kind of popped up when I was questioning about her?
Yeah, sure. You can.
It won't work in front of.
You're going to be obfuscating behind the bath, basically.
Okay.
What you need to use level 1 obfuscate, you have to have a single object between you and the viewer,
which I explained to you.
Right. It could be a lamppost. It doesn't matter. It could be skinny. It doesn't matter. But it has to be something between you and the other person, and you cannot move once you do it. And if the person has higher auspex than you, they will still be able to see you. So there is that. Yeah.
I also have no idea how old she is, so I'm not really expecting to confound her or anything.
Well, I think Mattius, having trained you how to use this discipline, has told you basically, you need to have an object between you and the other person, blah, blah, blah. This is how you do it. You can do it. It's just a question of whether you have an opportunity to do it before she's already seen you, which you can make a perception alertness check as she comes bursting in.
I'm going to take my robe off and throw it towards her face, and while her vision's obviously...
Nobody's ever tried that before.
You're still in front of Mattius.
Perception alertness.
Dude, come on.
Just being like, haha, oh.
And you're also training in Auspex level 1, which is heightened senses. So with your perception alertness check, I'm checking to see whether you hear Zara's conversation outside the door.
You probably can't hear fully healed.
Yeah.
So I got 2 successes.
2 successes, okay. Yeah, you hear Zara coming in. You hear her trying to get past the lady outside. The lady keeps telling her that she can't come in. And that, Brother Mattius is very busy right now in Spanish. But then you hear Zara burst through the door and run down the stairs anyway.
Quick is a quick thing.
Yeah, I will try ducking behind a pillar to obfuscate.
All right, you're going to make a dex and stealth check.
And do these add anything to my pools?
No, they don't.
Okay.
What they do is it basically means you're rolling stealth against anybody that has the same level of Auspex as you have obfuscate. Anybody without Auspex isn't going to be able to see you at all, as long as you're hiding in a reasonable location. What did you get?
I rolled 2 successes, one of which is a 10.
One of which is a 10. Zara, do you want to make a perception alertness check?
That's not her strong
I'll do it, but I'm pretty apathetic about it. Okay, I got 1.
Unfortunately, you do not see him hide.
I was looking for Mattius. So.
Right. Well, Mattius is here. Lawrence is not here when you come in.
I say what I need to.
All right. So you've said this in sign language. Basically, you're asking if you will teach Arthur, right? If he will teach us.
If he will teach Arthur.
Yeah.
All the basics.
Right.
I will if I can. Yes.
I'll bring him down.
All right. So Zara goes back upstairs, grabs Arthur, and brings Arthur downstairs to the bathroom.
I'll remain obfuscated.
Just walk him down.
Mattius goes, excuse me, I mean no offense, but no, not everybody needs to be in my bathroom at this time. Could we go upstairs, perhaps?
Yeah, that don't feel comfortable being in your bathtub.
All
right. Where the heck is everybody? I can't find. You all in an obfuscate or something? Where are you? Excuse me, ma'am, where's my friends?
You are looking for Brother Mattius, yes?
Yes, please, ma'am.
He is indisposed.
Oh, I'll just wait up here then.
Please, if you'll wait in the dining hall, everyone will join shortly. You will hear the bell.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.
Right, I grab Arthur and then we go upstairs.
Peter, as you're coming upstairs with Arthur, Peter, you're still in the dining hall when Brother Fuego comes in. Ah, greetings. You must be the child of Nosferat. I've heard so much about you. You single-handedly devastated something like 9 of my soldiers.
With all of your own weapons.
I'm impressed.
Your musician.
I'm glad you're impressed, but they gave me no choice.
Ah, well, they have been instructed to delete intruders from our domain. And you did not announce yourselves. If you had simply announced yourselves, I would have personally come to visit you and allowed you in.
Oh, well, it's fine then. Had we known that,
As you do now.
we might have announced ourselves. But now that you know we're here,
I will be returning to my domain this evening by helicopter, and I should like to extend an invitation to you and your friends.
oh, well, I think we should discuss that.
Very well. I will be waiting outside at the rotunda.
Okay. You wait in the rotunda and we'll have a discussion.
Very good. Thank you. And good night. I hope to see you soon. And he leaves.
Good night, sir.
All right. Madazara and
Yep.
the rest of you
Arthur on a chair.
on a chair.
Yep.
What's he doing on a chair?
Sitting. Hopefully.
Mattius says, what about vampirism do you wish to know, my friend?
I'm kind of confused. I'm not really sure what's going on.
Apparently your sire, who should be teaching you this, wants me to teach you this.
I'm up for any sort of instruction. I mean, kind of left to my own devices.
I go
quite a while.
and get Lawrence too. Put
I
him
was
on
going
the
to say, I
chair.
assume I would have come up as
Both of y'all
well
need
once
to be-
everybody had kind of left.
Okay, basically,
Cool.
over breakfast, I give them a rundown of vampire rules, vampire,
Okay.
anything to do with vampire.
Right. But from what point of view, though? I mean,
From
you haven't...
everybody's point of view.
Okay, that's true.
I-
But you have
I
not
go-
lived in a city for a long time.
I go, the Sabat look at it this way, the Camarilla look at it this way, and so forth. No, and I tell them the history
Okay.
more than anything else around it.
All right. So
And
he
why
gives you some
it's-
anecdotes from the Convention of Thorns, where the Camarilla and the Anarchs were ratified, and they made a treaty thereby. I think the Sabbat was ratified then too, actually.
Has he ever met any of the people they know, like Vincent and...
I think it would be a bit coincidental.
No, I just thought they'd been... No, Vincent is younger than he is, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
He's older.
Vincent's older, yeah.
Vincent's older. Okay. So basically, he tells them all about the people he met.
Yep.
And what happened to him as a vampire.
All right.
And he remembers his mortal days and what he was like and everything like that.
And among that story, does he tell them about what happened with him and Fuego? Does he tell that story, or is that...
No, he tells that. He tells that because they have a right to know who the real Fuego is.
Well,
and,
would you like to play it out?
no. Okay.
Do you want to try?
I'm not sure if I could do just...
All right, well, you can ask questions, and I'll try and fill in gaps if I can remember them.
Okay. Now, Brother Fuego, for instance, we have been friends for many centuries. Now, he is a Setite, which means he can mesmerize any one of you at any time, just by looking in your eyes. He can also do many other things. Now, as I look at each one of you, I can see that some of you would be easily influenced. by his capabilities. But be aware that his history goes much like this. As I told you, when we were young, we went to what we thought was a very important dinner of a lord. It was the both of us together. He was a priest then. I was just the man who cleaned the toilets, I believe we call it. He took me with him nevertheless.
You were a monk, though. You were a monk.
I was a beginner monk. A very much beginner. I was writing the Bible, literally. I was learning the first letters of writing the Bible. Anyway, we went to this dinner. Now, we went to this great castle. And we went into the castle and discovered that at this dinner, there were strange things, like people with taps in their necks. And these people were drinking from them. But we could not leave. We could not leave. But you see, Fuego was having a crisis in his belief, I would say. That's the way it was,
Pretty much.
Yeah. He was having a crisis in his belief. And I was trying to get him back to understanding what he was going through. But me being just a novice, I could not get this back. And eventually, we spent time with these people. We did not know at the time that they were vampires. Some of the oldest and most powerful vampires you will ever know. If you meet any of them, be afraid. Be very afraid. Anyway, eventually, Fuego gave in to who would become his sire, Lady Amisa. She was beautiful. It was captivating. Even I was captivated by her. Such beauty I had never seen. Every word she spoke was like silk to my heart. And at this time, I resisted her. But I discovered a new companion, and that companion would turn out to be my sire. But Fuego, he could not resist her. He listened to her. But he is very bright. He does not just tempt you with power. He tempts you with his knowledge. He tempts you with everything he has. So if you go to him, you will learn much. But some of you may not return as you were. And I will not stop my child from going. For he too has a right to learn. And we even battled each other, fought each other. But I was able to control myself, and so was he. But we had suffered great injury in the battle, and we have never battled since. Anyway, be aware. Be aware of him.
So that story is peppered in amongst all of this other vampire lore, basics stuff. So you don't know the traditions, but you know of the traditions. You know the names of the clans, and you know the basics of what their basic archetypes are. You know, Bruja, run around breaking stuff. Ventru tend to own corporations. Toreador tend to be artists. You've got like one or two words that you can associate with any given concept at this point. And as experience builds, you'll shape your knowledge of the world of darkness.
And you are also told that the Sithites do not have hearts to stake. So do not waste your time with that. they can remove their hearts from their bodies. And
Good.
they can...
If out there, like, ever comes, like, ever says something about, like, our clan, I'm just gonna stop him.
Okay, so that's a held action.
Yeah.
I'd like to hold an action. If Arthur says anything about my clan, I'm going to punch him in the face.
What is Zara's clan?
Good question. It's an excellent question, in fact.
So the rest of you, what are your clans?
Well, that's the thing. I mean, yeah. Out of game, Barry. Mattius knows some fucking weird going on with, at least with Zara. And Arthur also has some very disturbed aura.
He won't look through their brains because that would be rude.
Alright, that's fair. What a nice guy, eh? What a nice guy.
But when you ask about the clans, I just put my hand on Arthur's shoulder. And yeah. If you go to say something, I will squeeze.
Alright.
We're probably not like that hard, but yeah.
If Lawrence notices this, he'll sign to Zara, tell me about them later.
And Mattius picked it up. I mean, and he's not even going to look her in the eyes and go, tell me all about your clans. Alright, because that's rude too. It's all rude to him. At least they, you know.
About this time, the door from one of the rooms opens and you hear little footsteps coming up the corridor and you see Marco come out. And Marco waves to you, Lawrence, looks at you, looks at the others, looks at Fuego, stops, mouth drops open. El Diablo! El Diablo! No! No! And he runs away.
I chase after him.
Okay.
Saves me from having to do it. Jesus.
Alright, Lawrence, you go chasing after him. You discover how quick you are on your feet. And steady you are and so forth. You know, you haven't been this sober for years. It's probably just all the fucking drugs out of your system overnight.
No more snow for me.
Right, this is the best frickin' detox ever. Okay, so you go running after him, and you find him at the next corner, and he's got his back to the wall, and he's standing in the shadows. And he sees you come around the corner. You know this man.
I've only just met him myself.
He's the devil. He is the one. He is the one. He holds up the stump of his arm. He is the one.
Can I ask a question out of context, out of game?
Yeah.
Cause his nub has had me curious for the longest time. If you were to change someone who's missing a limb, but you cut off like the stump bit of it, will they regrow their arm during their change?
Well, that is a question for discovery. But that being said, you can, as the sire, can choose to use their blood to heal wounds, but the child doesn't get to make those choices. So if you were like a extremely wounded victim when they made you, they could choose to leave you with your scars, or they could heal them with the blood.
Is this something that Lawrence would have come to understand during his transformation?
Out of game, I don't think many vampires understand this at all. I think that this stuff is like really spongy. Even vampires don't know the lore that well.
Fair enough. I was going to make a mental note that I'm going to have to thank Mattius again, but
Right.
I wouldn't know that.
Right.
So I would just I crouches down in front of Marco, says, he's the one who came to your village?
His soldiers killed my mother and my father and my uncle.
His soldiers, but not he himself.
It's the same. He sent them. He is the killer. His words killed my people.
Walk with me. And I put my hand on his shoulder.
Stop. He walked among them after he's seen them slay and kill. He walked among my people, drinking from them like you vampires.
I'm new to all this. I haven't drank shit.
You make a self-control check.
Oh, right. I have to roll these with actual dice.
You do.
5 times.
Oh, mad girl, Charlie. You're
7, 6.
Jesus Christ. Do you want to know what
Only if my sire chooses.
Sweet, innocent Charlie Brown here is asking...
10 and 9.
What if you... Could you grow back your circumcised bits? What? Really? Come on. On Rollstream. This is healthy, homely, child-friendly, family-friendly entertainment.
You say that like children haven't been circumcised. I have 3 successes total.
3 successes.
For a minute there, I thought you were going to say I've been circumcised 3 times. And I'm like, damn, dude.
I just can't get enough.
Well, that's one less success than last time. So you take a moment where you're like, oh, you notice his pulse in his throat. And this lovely, gorgeous throat that you just want to fucking eat.
He comes with a straw. I mean...
Yeah. But you can make a... You know what? You can make a conscience check. Just for thinking about it.
Oh, how cool. He didn't do anything.
How would I...
Listen to them.
There it is.
Listen to
Conscience.
them.
Oh, boy.
His
I'm a
humanity was
lawyer.
pretty low anyway. Like, it was only 5. So this is pretty shit.
We haven't spent... he
Not
hasn't,
success.
no successes. No
Not
successes.
for conscience.
Okay, well... Alright, so you just don't feel bad about it. I'm not taking humanity away at this point. You haven't actually done anything, but I just wanted to know how you would do.
If I felt guilt
If you
for
felt
thinking
guilt.
of slurping this child.
That's right. That is correct. That is exactly what I wanted to know. And you have answered my question. I am satisfied.
I feel no guilt. I feel no remorse. I'm just watching that little vein pulsate, and I'm like, that'll be nice later. Walk with me, child.
All right, go on then. So the boy, you try to get him to move, and he's like, "No, I'm not going. I will not talk to him."
I'm not asking you to talk to him, and I just kind of scoop him up under my arm.
No! Stop! He starts fighting you. Stop! No. Well, he's not fighting you. He's
I can barely
fighting you.
feel that anymore. Stop! Rude. And
Yeah, that's
upon
a lawyer.
reaching-
Mattius is going to go out and see what's going on.
Okay, so
But
Matthias.
he's going to be
actually going to-
obfuscated.
Right, so you
He's
just
gonna obfuscate.
like a fucking shadow through the hallways. You appear there if you wish to.
No, not
Oh,
yet.
well-
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm watching them.
Okay.
I actually wanted to approach you before you disappear.
Okay, so Matthias, you're thinking about disappearing when Zara.
So I start signing. So Al Diablo. Huh? Care to
Oh, are you
explain?
out here with us? Oh,
Nope,
no,
nope,
we did
no.
yell that in the room.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's just before Matthias leaves.
Me?
Yeah, I signed this to Mattias.
Did
You're
the
Al
boy mean
Diablo.
Mattias or?
The boy was talking about Brother Fuego.
Oh,
Brother Fuego wasn't in the room.
What?
Well,
Oh,
you
no,
had
he's
him
not in the
leave.
room. Yeah, that's right. He's not
You
here.
had him leave.
He
He
was
was
there.
came in and saw.
That's true. But he is
Matthias.
referring to Brother Fuego in any case, yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case.
Yeah, go on.
All right, see you later. I gotta go find.
You get the impression that he's. I did mess that up. I did forget that, but I'm just retrofitting it a little bit. You get the impression that the boy saw him the night before, and now he's like putting two and two together.
Okay, well I'm gonna go find him.
Okay, so you can make a perception and investigation check. Lawrence, you've still got the boy in the hallway. Mattius, you're watching. Arthur, what are you doing? Everybody's left the fucking mess hall.
Oh, damn.
Except for Peter.
That's true.
No,
Peter's
I'm pulling
there.
down the next one in the series, and I'm like, yeah, this one looks good.
The Equinox, Volume 9.
Are you having a good time there?
Very good. It's a huge blue volume like this. Awesome.
Yeah. I'm at this. I'm in my fucking Battlewack area, and they're like, if
So what's
you
your
can leave me
take on
here.
all this crap?
My take.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of fucking nonsense. That's what I'm taking out of this. Everybody's running around, fucking talking about this, that, and the other thing. It's an absolute fucking. I don't know, man. It's going to shit.
Knowledge. And you
Of course, I'm a man of knowledge. But okay, ask me a straight question. What do I want to, okay, this is what I know right now.
Okay.
Lawrence has he's been embraced, just kind of like I was not too long ago. But he had a fucking procession. He had like fucking rose petals rolled out. He's probably sucked off before he even got put under, as far as I know. I don't know, I wasn't there at the time. But all I'm saying, man, is he had a far better entrance into this fucking life than I ever did. There you got Brother Mattius running around. He was like, hey, you know what? Fucking teach you. What do you want to know? Right on. Okay, well, who the hell? Why are you? And what do I owe you next time? And like, you keeping tabs? And then this Fuego fella. I mean, his name means fire. Or bullets, if you want to look at a more modern term.
Fire.
I'm not gonna fucking trust
Quite
anybody
ironic,
who's...
really, don't you think?
Well, totally ironic. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this guy comes off like he's the second coming.
Yep.
Seriously, I mean, he's all dressed in white. I mean, like, if I was to meet the fucking devil, he'd be dressed like that. Right there. Flat out. You want to know what? You asking me what I want to know?
Yeah.
That guy can go to fucking hell or go back.
Hi, Casper. Welcome along.
Yeah. That guy can go to hell, yeah.
Mattius, I don't trust him as far as I can fucking throw him either. He's too altruistic. Like, there's nobody that nice. There's nobody. Nobody. And this is what I'm talking about. You can...
Force people that nice. He's insane.
Excuse me.
You can have...
You just
like,
took my bet.
even fucking Mother Teresa. Let me use that as another example. Like, you can have the nicest person on the fucking planet. But they're not going to be morally straight. They're not. You can be a good person, but you're never going to be morally straight. Not in any shape or form. So, I don't know. Mattius, he's got something. He's needing something. He's wanting something. He's keeping it fucking tally. That's all I can tell you right now. He's marking it down. I don't trust that. I don't trust a lot of these people. What I do trust is what I can read, and that's why these books actually make the most sense. These speak the truth right here.
Excuse me. Has it escaped your knowledge that you are one of these people now? It's true you could have picked a better sire. I mean, picking Donald Duck would have been a better idea, but, you know...
I didn't have a choice in this matter. I was throwing up the back of a fucking plane and said, hey, here's a parachute. Good luck. I'm like, cool, all right, but did I have an option and who choosing who my side is going to be?
Is there anything special about you? I mean, you're a good guy and all that, but, you know, why are you here? Why did they choose you? I know why I'm here, because I came and put my nose where I shouldn't have put it.
Well, I mean, you've heard me say this before. I mean, the Masters, just this Order of Mars thing is just like, I don't know what the fuck's going on. Not once have I actually heard anybody around here even mention the Order of Mars. Not once. Like, so, is this whole organization that I'm a part of is just a fucking farce? Am I being, the wool being pulled over my eyes here too? I don't know. I have no fucking clue. You're about the only person right here that actually tells me things straight. You're the only person right here that I can actually even believe a word that comes out of your mouth to a certain degree, and I don't even believe you 100%. No offense, but, you know.
Don't worry. I don't believe me 100% either. But listen. The thing is, you were sitting with the two oldest I ever heard of. And if you wanted to know about history, well, you just heard it from those that were there.
Yet I didn't hear anything about the Order Mas.
Because it's a secret organization, I bet. Why would they know about the Order Mas?
More secret than the ministry? More secret than the Assamites? More secret than... Like, come on, there's a lot of secret organizations out there. Why is the Order Mas so special? Like... And here's the thing, you want to know what you're asking me? What's good about me? Why am I here? I have no fucking clue, other than the fact that they've already told me that I am special. I have blood of some big wuggy from back in the day. That's why I'm here.
What, you mean tell me you got the blood of these people? Of these people we work for?
Yeah, I mean, that's what they told me. I was like, I have got some weird ancient blood rolling around in me, or at least I'm a descendant of it, at least.
So these Mars people, you're a descendant of Mars?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what they said. Or something like it.
That fucking answers your question, you dopey dick.
It doesn't answer shit. I don't even know what the fucking Order Mas is, really.
You've got the blood of this dude in your blood. That's why they're interested in you. Apart from the fact that you're the biggest brain I've ever known.
Well, thanks. I mean, my ex-girlfriend wasn't that nice, so thank you for that.
Oh, it's true. You've got the biggest brain I've ever known. And one day you decide we'll teach you something.
Well, you just hit something on the head here, right here. You just hit something. And you're saying that the reason they're interested in me is because of my blood and because of my connection to Mars. But why is Mattius interested? Why is Mr. Fire fucking interested? Or are they even interested?
I can give you the quick explanation for that. One, I think that Mattius, well, he said, I heard him say, it was his first child. So, maybe that's why he's interested, because he's made a first child. And as for the other guy, I think he's got his reasons for doing things. But I think they're all about manipulation. All about what they can get out. It's probably more to it than that, because I'm not a brain box like you. You'd be able to suss it out better than me.
Well, I can make a lot of assumptions at this point in time because I don't actually have solid facts.
Okay, what did you think vampirism was going to be all about?
Well, we had this discussion the other night, didn't we?
Yeah, but I want to hear your personal view of what you thought was going to happen once you became a vampire.
Throwing cars and eating bystanders.
Yeah. Well, I mean, based on the information that I had up to that point in time, I mean, we had what? Movies, books to really go after. I started diving into the occult when I got to the point when I knew I was dying. I only had weeks left at that point in time, and it's the same thing I told Vincent. It's just like, hey man, this is exactly why I was doing it. Please protect my library. This is my life that you're looking at here. Like, this is my life's bloody work. Like, literally my life. And what was going to save it? And I don't know, man. It's just at that point in time, I don't know. How do you deal with something like that when your entire life was drug out before you? And say, you know what? Here's vampires. But what do vampires do? They don't do fucking shit all. Nothing more or less than a fucking human. Just more manipulative. They last longer. Great. So you know what? Cool. Whatever blood disease I actually had at that point in time is now cured. I don't know. Maybe it is. I haven't had a chance to. But the master says, you know what? Fucking fine. Well, that's what everybody says. You know, we got Mattius saying everything's all hunky-dory okay. We've got Fuego, over there in his fancy fucking hat telling everything's okay. Yeah, we'll teach you whatever you fucking want. Everybody's too fucking nice. You don't get that. You don't get nothing for free. And if you're asking me, like, what am I expecting vampirism was supposed to be? I have no fucking clue. But I know it's not this. I know it's not regretting every fucking moment that I have had since I got embraced. It's not waking up screaming about, the people that I've killed and thinking that I wouldn't actually have any sort of empathic emotion about it. I'm not an empathic fucking person, but you know what? I'm a doctor. I have something certain standards that I'm supposed to have.
You're still in the mess hall, right?
That conversation is in the mess hall, yeah. You guys are in the corridor at present. You're talking to Marco, yeah?
Have him under my arm.
Right.
As you start talking about hating every moment of being a vampire, I bust in the door with the kid under my arm going, I fucking love this!
Put me down, damn it! Let me go, let me go!
Can't even feel him hitting me in this.
Let me go, Lawrence! This is not fair! Put me down!
Man.
He starts screaming like he's a 10-year-old kid can scream. That's more torturous than anything. Anyone got heightened senses on?
No.
No, I mean, that's kind of when at the moment I kind of look over and Peter and it's like, that's what I thought it was going to be like.
Hey, Arthur! Catch!
Okay, so, Mattius, these vampires are throwing children around in your haven now.
I'm well aware.
Right, just
All
pointing
right.
that out.
Child,
Yes.
let me put it to you this way.
Puts down Marco.
The child is afraid. You are making it more afraid. How is that helping the child?
Because as of right now, he's only afraid of the spinning in the heights. There's no thought of El Diablo in his mind at the moment.
And what
Until
of
I
your
state
mind?
this.
What is in your mind? What are you thinking?
I want to know what the operations are that Fuego has been heading. Because this child came from a village filled with death and desolation left in the wake of his soldiers. And I did not realize that until, well, a moment ago.
He looks at the boy and he says, "Child, come to me."
He takes a few halting steps across the floor towards you. He looks back at Lawrence and then looks back at you. What's
I
Lawrence's yeah?
I nod to Marco to let him know that it is okay to approach him.
He continues forward to you, Mattius.
I am.
He looks up at you, because you're huge, right?
Yeah.
Right. He's kind of like...
I speak in his language so he can understand me.
Okay.
I am El Diablo, but I was once a man-child.
You were once a man-child?
I was once a man-child like you.
Sorry, I had to.
Yep.
Right.
I was once a man-child like you. There are some of us that are good, and some of us that have lost their way.
Why? Why do you let him come? Here, this is your house, yes?
I knew him many years ago.
No, he killed my family. He killed my mother, my father, my uncle, my family, my people, my village. He cut my arm. My people die because of him. You bring him here, you welcome him. Or do you... Why?
I do not
His
welcome
tears are
what he
streaming.
does, child. It is wrong in my soul that he hurts you.
Why do you not punish him?
He is punishing himself. Do you not see that?
He
see that
spits
he's
on the
punishing
floor
himself.
and storms off. He goes past you, Lawrence, says if you want to grab him or anything, but he's storming outside.
As he's approaching me, since I'm all like fast and shit, I'm going to
Fancy.
first look to
Yeah.
First look to Mattius to see if he wants to continue speaking to the child or if he is okay with the child walking away right now.
He says, I will deal with the child myself.
And Lawrence lets Marco pass.
Okay. Marco heads off outside, outside the house, outside the building.
Okay, much later on, he will talk to the boy at another time.
Okay.
And then the boy can decide if he wants to stay.
All right. Very good. Charlie, I think someone's trying to climb in your window.
Oh, it's the wind.
That'd be weird though, wouldn't it? Because there's like this skull face coming through the window.
I would punch them out.
All right, cool. All right, so the boy leaves.
I have gone to see Fuego.
Ah, so you go outside.
Sure.
Right. Well, you can't find him inside.
Okay.
And if you ask any of the servants, they will tell you that he's gone outside to the rotunda.
I will go to the rotunda.
All right.
Once I figure out what that is.
Well,
I was doing the exact same thing.
it's a round object with seats inside it that's raised up with steps at the front and a little conical or covering
Okay, right.
over the top.
Oh, is a rotunda rotund?
Yes. Yes. And thusly, I am a rotunda. No. Well, indeed. Anyway, you get to the rotunda, and at the rotunda you see Fuego sitting, smoking a cigarette in his white suit with his white hat and his white shirt on, in the moonlight. You see the dot of orange at the peak of his cigarette as he inhales. You can hear it burn crisply in the night air from a few meters away, and it almost sounds like a hiss.
Well, I will join him.
Greetings, child.
I just wave.
You do not speak out loud. And I do not know your language of signs. A pity. But I do have here a notepad.
Right, I grab that, I start writing,
Going analog.
Analog. Old
Why
school.
doesn't she carry one of those more often?
Why doesn't she have a
It's
whiteboard
fun.
and an eraser,
I
on her shirt. Hi.
wrote, so you're El Diablo. You're the one that tortured, that took the poor boy's arm, killed his family, probably burnt some things. I wasn't there. I didn't see it. Plagued their villages. Are you the guy that put the people up on the crucifixes like a monster?
Right, so you ask all of this and you write all of this all over this paper.
It's
So you're
a
like
lot.
writing for quite a while there while he
Right.
finishes his cigarette.
Yeah.
Finally, you hand him the notepad and he reads the note, puts out the cigarette on the banister of the rotunda, reading the note, looks up at you, screws up the piece of paper, tearing it out of the notepad, screws it up in his fist, smiles and says, "Yes. And why? You are kindred. You have many new tastes, perhaps, that you have yet to explore. The Camarilla, I posit, has brainwashed you, my child, to believe that anything outside of its narrow confines is ethically wrong and therefore damnable to you. I remind you, you are a vampire. You are already damned. There is nothing that can be done to your soul.
I pick up the pen, and I write, Don't show your face around that little boy. And I'm doing it, like, quite firmly. Quite intimidatingly. As intimidating as you can, writing a note. Without, like, making it into one of those, like, little murder things. Yeah.
So it's not a murder board.
No.
Okay.
It's not a murder board.
Okay. All right. And he looks at it. He says, that is what you wish, that I do not show my face before the child. Marco, is it?
I write, yes. I'm being serious.
He takes off his hat and holds it against his chest for a moment, and he looks up at you.
I look at him.
And how much willpower do you have right now?
I have 3.
You have 3, because you're looking at him, looking at you, looking at him.
Yes.
All right.
Just try dominating.
You're about to tell me you've got some funky feet.
Yeah.
Does it work on Serpentis?
But Iron Will?
Yeah, Iron Will.
It didn't say it worked with Serpentis. Not exclusive.
I don't think there's, like, anything that has
Works
any, like...
against Serpentis?
With the book that we have. We don't have access to even Serpentis. So...
Yeah. Serpentis should be in the player's guide. V2 player's guide.
Not the one we have.
Really? It's not in there?
Yeah, we've only got, like, the player, like, the main character stuff.
Well,
I don't mean the vampire book. I mean the player's guide, the extra book, the second book, the secondary book. In any case, Eyes of the Serpent. Okay, what he does. Enchanting Gaze. All right, so he's going to use Enchanting Gaze. It is amongst his powers. He's quite good at it. If you want to roll to resist it, you can. If you want to spend willpower to resist it, you can try.
Okay, sweet.
All right, so let's make a straight up willpower check.
Okay. Oh, sorry, I have 4. Okay. Willpower.
And bearing in mind that I too am, yes, making up the rules for this particular power right now because I'm the dungeon master. So they're there.
Prerogative.
Yep.
All successes. 4.
All successes. 4 successes. All right.
Yes.
You find yourself momentarily immobilized, and you realize the power that he has, but your iron will does empower you to resist it. In this case, and you see him take notice of that. You have an obscure ability to resist the powers of Cain's blood. Interesting. Where might one obtain such powers, young one? He steps towards you.
I just start laughing.
He pushes...
And then I write, you'll never get it. And then I slither out of there.
Dash before he brings out stronger powers.
That was petty. Alright, cool. All right, so you head off. Meanwhile, inside, you guys are doing a thing.
Playing rugby with the child. I'm kidding.
Touchdown. Yeah.
And Peter and I had just finished the conversation. Lawrence came in, yeeting the child across the room. Mattius was following the child, and at some point in time, at a later date, he's going to have a conversation with it.
Is anyone going to pass on the information? Is anyone going to pass on the information that Fuego is waiting in the rotunda for information as to whether or not you're going to accept his invitation to come to his domain? Is anyone going to pass that information on? Somebody has that. I can't remember.
Peter's about to go and ask everybody what they're going to do.
Right.
Okay.
I
what are we going to do?
Back.
Are we going to go with this dude?
What do you mean we're going to go with him? Like, follow him or become like one of his
No.
lackeys?
Do you want to have a look if he has, for instance, if he has Scheherazade, it'll be at his home base.
I've heard the name.
Wait. I like pat Peter as soon as I bounced into the room. What do you mean by Scheherazade?
She'll be at his home base. If she's anywhere, she'll be there.
Why do you know how? What has given you that conclusion?
Well, that's where I'd put an important person. Is she important?
I don't believe that there's any connection.
Okay.
I do believe previously I had mentioned a buried bit of information that, yes, Scheherazade should be within the triangle. I believe at the base by the dam, or at least that's the best lead that I had with the information embedded in me.
That's what he said.
That is what I said.
Yeah.
That's what you said. Yeah.
As far as I'm aware, Mattius didn't really say it 100%, but he did allude to the fact that if he was going to hide somebody, he'd be there.
Yeah.
That's where we would keep all the bodies.
I mean, he doesn't know she's here, obviously, but if he thinks that's where she'll be, that's where she'll be.
How do we know that the place that this guy is taking us to is going to be the same place?
Lawrence, since the time that it was mentioned, were you present when they were talking about how Setites can remove their hearts?
I think he was.
Did
No.
you? Lawrence wasn't there? Okay.
No.
Well, in any case, then...
I heard the first bit of the Setite conversations earlier, but not once we got to the more details I had left.
One of your protocols built into your, Operator 718 protocols is that you want the group to find and destroy the heart repository. If possible. It's a secondary objective.
Okay. I feel like I would probably only tell Peter off to the side about the heart repository.
Okay.
Partially because Zara's a bit of a loose cannon and Arthur's constantly as confused as I am. Even though he's super intelligent, Peter is kind of the one who keeps us all level.
Right.
Even though he's constantly having to bicker with Arthur. I don't know how the other two might react, so I'd probably only tell Peter.
Okay,
aside somehow.
So you grab Peter to the side, yeah, and you're gonna just say something. What are you gonna say?
Peter, would you mind if I spoke to you in private for a moment?
I'll be back in a second, people. Yes.
And,
I didn't know if that was
take
in or out
him
again.
to the library.
All right. So you get to the library.
And I would sit down and probably write out the information about the heart repository and what I may know about the location, whether it's to help me keep my information straight or to avoid the possibility of being overheard.
Right, so you write this down. So you basically write on a piece of paper that says, that definitely has the word heart repository, heart repository, on it. And then maybe question mark find, something like that. I don't know, what is, you tell me.
Probably, again, draw the triangle without the map.
Yep.
Circle about where in the triangle I know of the dam base to be at.
Yep, roundabout's the middle. Yep.
And write destroy heart repository question mark. 2 separate lines. So destroy heart repository question mark. Yes, we have to destroy this, but I don't know if it's here.
Right.
And after showing him, eat it.
Okay, so Peter, you've just seen all of this information and been asked the question.
You mean to tell me, hey, this may be a good time to bring up, Mattius said when he was sitting at the table with us, they can take their hearts out of their bodies. So they must put it in that repository you're talking about. That place you're talking about. Okay. So we are supposed to find that and destroy it if we can?
That does seem to be an objective I've been embedded with.
How are we going to tell Bonnie and Clyde?
Away from Fuego?
I got a feeling Plato's got ears all over this place.
Which is why
No offense. I know he's your daddy and all, but you know.
You talking about Fuego or Mattius? Fuego or Mattius? Because Fuego's definitely not his daddy.
Uncle.
Yes.
Well, like one of your parents.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep, co-parent.
Right? Yeah, co-parent.
No, I'm thinking the creepy uncle is probably the best.
Creepy
uncle. Right, always
Okay,
talking,
now he's
hey,
saying
come down to my
Mattius has got
cabin
ears
and throw
and
away your morals.
I see.
Alright, we're going to have to suss this out with the other two. But I'm pretty sure that in order to find things, Sire, we have to go there to find it anyway. And in order to find that, we need to go there anyway.
It's true.
Okay.
I am for traveling with Fuego. I just don't know what we'll do with Marco for the time being. Because I don't think he'll come with us if we're accompanying Fuego. And I don't know how Mattius might take looking after him, or if he'd even be willing, or what might happen.
All right. I'll talk to Mattius about the kid, and then we'll...
Out of game, can we not have your player character talk to your other player character about the kid?
I was thinking I was going to say later on.
Just say never takes. That's what I do.
They do it, you know, they do it.
I mean, you can. I don't really care. I've seen you play more than one character at the same time and talk to yourself. You're good at it, so, you know.
But he has to talk to the kid anyway. Mattius has to talk to the kid and do it anyway.
That's true. All right. So what's the general plan here? You're going to go back inside and talk to the group?
going to at least go back inside and gather the group,
Right.
whether or not we talk about it now and or
Right.
here.
Now, a quick point
is
of
debatable.
a quick point of order and a question for everybody. My time, it says 10:35, so we are over time, but I am feeling okay to keep going if you want to play for a while more. But I would like a 5-minute break if you want to. Otherwise, we should call it here and do what we said we were going to do, which was to play for 3 hours and wrap up. What do you guys want to do? Jesse? got an
Well,
opinion?
it's 1:30 in the morning for
Right.
me. It's
It's
later
late.
for Lawrence or for
Right.
Isaac.
Okay. So that's
Oh,
fair.
He can remove his filthy moral scum tag now.
Yeah.
Oh,
Right.
now I'm
Mortal,
Malcolm Scum.
no longer mortal scum. You are, in fact, a Malkavian
A
scum.
Malkavi scum.
Yes. Yes. All right. Well, let's raid someone then, and we'll quit now and say hello to people next time around. And anybody that wants to chat after stream, I'll be around for a little while. So raidy.
I'm probably going to help you out a little bit more, Lawrence, before you go to bed. Is that okay? Just like,
Oh yeah,
that's
Well, if
that
you-
would be
we can do
absolutely
a-
wonderful.
We can do a 3-way Zoom there if you want to talk it through character-wise. If you can get help from Charlie,
Okay.
and I can give you
Yeah.
lore and stuff as well, if that works. What was I going to
Yeah.
say?
and I can
Raiding.
tell you about, like, Zara's story as well.
Oh, we're going to raid Dreaded GM tonight.
And before you
Yay.
guys go, I do have to point out, hey Casper, time zone buddies.
Time zone buddies.
Hey!
Right, 2, 1.
That's amazing.
Rating now. Good night, everyone. You have a wonderful night. Thank you for watching. Thank you for
Night.
following and all of that stuff. We love you. We need your help. Goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye. Bye.
All right.
And
And
if you guys will give me just a moment.
Yep.
Hello and good night. I hope you all have a wonderful night and thank you for joining me. There is something that I don't know if it'll be after the next time we play this or maybe at some point in between. But this one, Zara, convinced me to pick up Vampire the Masquerade's Swan Song.
Yes.
So we will be diving into that into the future. But for tonight, have a wonderful night, and thank you all for joining me. Cypher, you're passed out. Good night. Oh, raid. I never do raid, do I? You guys can continue. We can talk now while I find a raid target.
Yep. Fair enough. Okay. Well, how